Why'd you hack our channel?
That one up there is rolling for sure.
Yeah, strategy.
Yeah, why'd you hack
We brought you here today to talk to you about this hack.
We should do the intro with like a really dramatic Bollywood serial.
Yeah.
And be like, so tell us about your side of the beef.
Did you ever find that guy at Comic-Con who took our photo?
No.
The very first one?
Yeah.
It was very random because like
Did you get in touch with him in any way?
No, I don't know who it is.
Oh, okay,
The guy
yeah,
just
me
walked
neither.
up to you guys.
Yeah.
And was like, "Oh, can I take your photo?" And then he saw me and he's like, "Oh, can I take your photo as well at the same time?" And I processed it right afterwards. And I was like, "Well, that's the first photo we've ever taken."
Yep.
That was the first.
None of us didn't dawn on us until it was
Yeah.
over.
Did you grow up in the 80s or the 90s?
We don't talk about
We
that.
don't-
We don't talk about
that's like Bruno, man.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
when did you grow up in the 80s or 90s?
I grew up in the 1940s.
No, there's a show I've been reacting to, and I've mentioned that I did background work on it called That's So Raven.
Oh, yeah.
And
Heard of it?
And Johnny and I love That So Raven. Even to this day, we love That So Raven.
So by bringing that up and introducing that fact, I've dated myself horribly, and I'm
Because you were on.
okay,
because
so
I was-
now I've
yeah.
got to watch. How many episodes? Did you do a few episodes background of that?
I did
So
several
Raven?
episodes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, there was actually a weird incident once where I went to Vegas for a film festival, and That's So Raven popped up on TV, and I was like, "Oh, I was in this show. I did background work." And then no sooner than I said that, my face popped up on
Popped
TV.
up.
It was the weirdest thing.
That is
me as a
surreal.
DJ. But yeah, but anyway, me being in that show tells you how old I am to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so-
someone guessed it.
Carry the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And so just the other day, speaking of age, I put out a video on my Instagram of me like flipping around and stuff like that I shot on Friday. And someone commented saying, "Oh my God, this guy's my dad's age and he's moving like this." And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess that's a good feeling. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
But
Well,
thanks.
well, welcome. I didn't introduce everybody. Sorry,
That's
this
okay.
is just how we
Yeah.
do it. Hi, welcome back to our stupid reactions. Now, stupid reactions, by the way.
Now, officially
It officially changed
changed.
4 hours ago.
Yeah,
we actually
we are
rest in peace
aspiring
strategy.
influencers hoping to
Yes.
get some tips.
Exactly. I'm Corbin. This is Rick. We are here, not meeting for the first time.
Nope.
The first time we met him was actually last year. Was it last year or was it
Yeah,
2
it was,
years ago?
No, it was almost
Was
2
it?
years ago. It
Oh,
was, it was
okay.
Comic-Con
Wow,
of
time
23,
flies.
wasn't it?
Jeez.
Wow.
Some people you might know.
Wow. Yeah, it
Jaby
was
and
Comic-Con
Achara
23.
from formerly Jaby Koei, now Sinadesi.
Yay.
Channel. How you
Now,
doing, guys?
that guy who used to be famous.
People were not happy with you when you changed that name.
No, they were very mad.
They were not happy.
That
with
went
What were their
No.
what were their primary gripes that got them pissed about that change?
everything.
Familiarity.
Yeah,
Yes,
people don't like
Yeah.
change.
Just why'd you change it? Just why'd you change it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill Corbin's bottle here.
That's fine.
Do it, bro.
No, so I had been long wanting to change the name away from Jaby Koei.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted it to be a group thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the very first name I came up with, I was actually quite excited about because it sounded like a rock band to me called the Masalas. And because masala
That's
means
good.
everything, right?
Yeah, I like that. The masalas.
Yeah, and then people hated it, and so I came up with Sinatesi, and I asked my friend, my Indian friend, I'm like, how does that sound? And she goes, that's the entire diaspora, so that works. And I was like, all right, cool. And it had the Sonic the Hedgehog Paramount effect, where people really didn't like the first Sonic the Hedgehog,
Right.
And then the new one came, and they're like, all right, that one works.
We like this now.
Yeah, so that's what happened with the name.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it just stuck.
And then we just doubled down.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
were
you
like,
got it.
we're not changing it
No,
anymore.
you
so
gotta drive that home.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Complain all you want.
From
It's-
a business perspective, that's you don't usually change names.
No.
People like familiarity.
Yeah.
Took a
That's
big
true.
risk, Jaby.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ball's on you, man.
Yeah, but
Wow.
but now people know that name more than
Yes.
Jaby Koei as the URL, which is what
Yeah.
I wanted. Because it's more of the vibe. You know, as Indians describe their movies, it's more of a feeling.
Right.
And so that's what I wanted the channel to be, more than
it being a
more
personal.
than just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a feeling.
That's why I should have called this channel Corbin.
You should
Just
have.
kept it.
Why don't you change it now? I mean, they're used to the name change. We went from strategy. Now just call it.
It should be called
Corbin.
Corbin
there-
Strategy.
Was there a name that you guys wanted that was like, no, we can't do that?
Probably.
If this wasn't our stupid reaction, it'd probably be the White Devil reactions or something. like that.
Yeah, we really like that. We like White Devil Productions.
If we ever do like an Indian production house, it's
yeah,
gonna be the White Devil Productions.
That's funny.
No white people and no dogs allowed.
Yeah.
How about that? I'm trying to think of because I tried a bunch of different names and they were all everything you want is taken. Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
It's like getting a Yahoo email back in the day, you know?
Right.
It's like you've reached that
You've
point.
dated yourself again.
Yeah,
no one
exactly.
uses Yahoo
Oh, sorry,
anymore.
an Earthlink email back
Wow.
in the day.
Back when you were picking a MySpace name.
Yeah. Or an AOL instant messenger handle.
Uh-huh,
You
yeah.
know? It's like you had to add 4 numbers to it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's before your time.
Yes, it probably is.
I'll try to
Sound
talk
behind it.
quieter and more intimately.
That's better.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a sexier voice. and you're golden.
We'll keep it lower resonance the whole time. Hope for the best.
So has the backlash died down since you've really stuck with it and it's been there for a while?
It's been there
now?
for what,
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
years now?
Yeah.
3?
The backlash was there for about 6 months, I'd say, and then it went away.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappeared. So now we're okay. Yeah, but like the other channel also had to change because the other channel, the American channel, was called Get Jaby,
Right.
and then we changed that to Cinepals. And so
Because Americans wouldn't know what a Daisy is.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I think doing the name change was one of the best things we did because it really gave it a different branding that is not just me. Because what I was afraid of is, let's say I disappeared for 3 months,
Yeah.
and I'm like, they're gonna be like, "Who's this Jaby?" Like, let's say you're
Right.
introduced to the channel through her and another host.
Right.
Why is it called Jaby? That's just
Right.
weird, you know.
Speaking of backlash, I've never. This is a very weird. I'm used to conducting interviews of, as you guys are as well, celebrities and stuff, but never somebody who has my exact job. So what's the biggest back?
We're not celebrities.
You are.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
This is DC and Marvel coming together right now.
Oh, speaking of being a celebrity, so there was one instance I was hanging out at a bar with her and a stunt friend of mine who I look up to because I've known him since I was a kid, and he's worked on all the big Marvel DC stuff, right? And he was just asking me about the channel, and no sooner than like I was explaining it to him, someone walked up and was like, "Oh my God, I love your channel." Like, that's
Perfect
awesome.
timing.
Yeah, and then there was another instance where like some car accident happened down the street when she and I were getting ice cream. So we went to go be looky-loos, and I started a conversation with someone who asked me about what I do, and I explained I have a YouTube channel. The moment I said YouTube channel, this woman walks up and goes, "I love your channel." And I'm like, I didn't pay her to say that, just so we're clear. I don't know this person. So things like that have happened on more than one occasion.
That's true. That's true.
So,
We got free drinks once,
We got
but I'm
free
pretty
drinks.
sure she thought that you were your brother.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That happens too.
Yeah.
No, that'll
the
happen.
real reject.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I went to the screening of Godzilla -1, and this guy walked up to me and goes, "Real rejects?" And I go, "No, that's my brother."
my
and,
brother.
and he laughs and he goes, "Ah, that's funny." And I'm like, "No, seriously,
No, really.
that's the kind of joke my brother would make, but that's my brother, not me." So,
We actually just talked about this. Do you ever not tell people what you do, and they, like if they have no idea about the YouTube channel or anything like that, and they're just like, "Oh, like it's just a person you meet at a
Yeah,
party."
at a party, and they ask, "What do you do?"
What do you do? Do you ever like? This is going to be too much to explain to you what I do?
Because we answer very differently.
I don't ever. I tell
He
people
never
I'm
tells them
an,
what you
I
do.
tell them I'm an editor.
wow.
Okay.
yeah, that was my response.
But you were a lethal weapon.
Yeah,
Why would you tell them you're an editor?
exactly.
Right.
Well, I do say actor and editor is my day job
Okay.
because then they have all these questions about like, "Oh, what do you do?" And then you have to explain that I do Indian movies, and they have no idea what that is, and then they start going into, "Oh, that's a good market." And then I'm like, I don't care about this
Yeah.
whole
Oh
conversation
yeah,
anymore.
that's usually how that conversation plays out.
So I don't
Yeah.
like it, and so I
That's
just
very indicative of our personality types because he would rather. Yeah, that's
Deflect.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't get too close. That's kind of just want to talk to you.
Don't touch
And
me.
I'm like, oh, let me tell you about the channel and my wife that I met, and this started in 2019.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, insufferable,
insufferable.
insufferable. You don't?
I think
You're like,
I
I'm
just,
so
I think
proud
I
of-
just, I think I just tell people, not out of pride or anything like that. I just answer. I'm very transparent. Like, so I'll just answer people's questions very to the point that I shouldn't. So, but I'll just be straight up and tell them what I do. And if they ask questions, oftentimes it's followed by, "Oh, let me follow you," which I don't want them to
Oh
do.
no,
Right,
never.
of course not.
Because they're not going to watch it. And I think, like,
Or if they do, they're like, "What is this?"
yeah.
Like I have family that often says, "There's like, oh, I watched your video and I left it on so you could get the ad money," and I said, "Thank you."
Yeah. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't need you to do it.
Yeah.
I never tell anybody I know to subscribe unless you're Indian.
Yeah, YouTube has gotten really smart to all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where they actually have hit me with this thing called artificial views or something like that, and they actually rescind the money. They pull
Really?
it back. Rescind's probably not the right word, but they pull it back and they go, well, these are artificial views.
Really?
And so we're not going to pay you this little. Now, this happens all the time right now because of all of the bots that are invading
Yes,
the
right,
comments.
right.
And I keep trying to hit them like whack-a-mole, and it's like they keep coming back for some odd reason. But that's the biggest contributor for the fake views. You know,
Is the just leave it on.
Yeah, Trump's biggest opponent.
And I guess,
Fake views.
Bots.
I
Yeah.
guess they know that by reason of the fact that if it's been on a particular channel for like 8 hours, you obviously had it on while you were sleeping, and they know that's not legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Dang it.
They're getting on top of all of it.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Like, I
They
don't know.
just pounced on the fake trailers
That's how we got all
today.
of our-
Did you hear about
Oh,
that?
did they really?
Yeah, that deadline just said today that YouTube is really coming down hard. They demonetized every channel that they know put up a fake AI movie trailer.
Wow.
Wow.
Hold on, I need to change something real quick.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to do something technical.
I did too. He said I got to change something.
It
I
was
like,
a
"You have more
joke.
underwear?"
Oh.
Nobody got it.
So,
Oh, stop it! You're killing us.
some of the AI trailers that I've seen, some of them I've enjoyed. It depends on what we're
I
talking
haven't
about.
seen any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the AI
At all?
generated
No,
ones.
no. What-
Maybe I have and I didn't know it because I've seen IA generated reels and thought they were real reels.
Yeah.
Was that
And
new?
then-
Was that new Salman Khan one AI?
It could have been.
Could have been.
So, did you play video games at all or ever? Okay. Have you ever played video games?
I have, but I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not a gamer.
He's
Are you-
big on
Are you,
Atari.
I'm not
are you
yet.
familiar with
He
Zelda?
streams Atari.
Okay, so there was a Zelda video game trailer I saw that was completely AI generated, and I was like,
For the new Zelda game.
just the as a concept, a
Oh,
Zelda
okay.
movie.
Okay.
And
Which
I'll-
they're coming out with in 2026.
they are coming out with a Zelda movie, but like this
Who's
was
playing him?
I don't know.
no, we don't know, but
okay.
it was just a concept trailer for
Right.
if they did a movie, and it was like kind of an 80s vibe, like Legend, like the Tom Cruise movie.
Right.
It's called Legend, right?
Yeah, with Tim
okay.
Curry.
Yeah, it sort of has that vibe to it, right? And I was like, this is really cool, and I can see this working. And it's like, it makes me mad that it looks so good because
Right.
it's AI, and I know it's all zeros and ones, and it's
Right.
like hurting the industry as a whole.
Yep.
But like, I can't deny this looks really cool. But so to me, the directions AI is going is that it's just going to help filmmakers to convey their feelings.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not going anywhere. It's just going to get better. Right, but I don't think it's going to replace this.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to replace some of those lo-fi beats that I like to listen to on YouTube. I'll type in lo-fi beats all the time on YouTube just to zone out, and they're being artificially made by computers now,
Right.
which is annoying.
That sucks.
But I don't think they're going to replace YouTube hosts anytime soon.
No.
I think we're a ways off from that because of the spontaneity. Just like in this conversation alone, there's a lot of
Right.
spontaneity.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's the human element.
Yeah, that's very, very difficult to replicate.
Yeah.
So it's easy to make like someone look real for a second and not have any voice going. But yeah. So
No,
we're
that's
safe for
true.
now.
For now.
Yeah. The other thing AI can't do yet is let people who, for example, you had a real human being recognize you and say, "I love your channel."
Yeah.
Can't do that with AI yet.
Right.
Strategy told me they
Yeah.
love me.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you seeing them on the side?
I am.
Elon Musk has your back, baby.
He does. Dude, they went live for like 12 hours with the Bitcoin,
Bitcoin ads.
Jesus.
on the channel. Like it was some Bitcoin
A running
convention.
live Bitcoin convention.
Uh-huh.
And it was just live for 12 hours
That sucks,
before
man.
YouTube. And then it said
Yeah,
your
before
channel's
YouTube.
deleted.
So
Damn.
I've done a lot of back and forth between YouTube and ChatGPT, and have found that you go multiple levels up, and there's still AI within Google's system as they're talking to you. And like when you lose your channel, it's the scariest feeling in the world.
Yep.
He knows.
Yeah, and you're trying to talk to someone, and you know without a shadow of a
It's
doubt,
not real.
No
This is not a
humans.
person,
Right.
And no matter what you say to them, you know it's not a person. No matter what they tell you, you know it's not a human being at the other end of that line,
Right.
And so, yeah, many years ago, when it was called Get Jaby, we lost our American channel. And I was trying to talk to YouTube support
Right.
through the Indian channel, Jaby Kawai.
Okay.
And they're like, what channel are you trying to get help with? And I told them, and they're like, well, this is not your channel. I'm
Yeah.
like, it is my channel. That's my channel.
Right.
But you guys deleted it
Right.
because of impersonation. But it's like, that's me. I didn't
Right.
impersonate anybody. It's me. It's me. And so they're like, oh, we'll try to. And they just kept like denying me and deflecting me. And then 3 months later, it came back for no reason. And I have no idea why.
Yeah.
3
that-
months?
3 months.
That's usually the norm.
Good
I was
God.
blown away that it came back so quick
Yeah.
because most stories I've heard about hackings and channels getting lost are months to restore.
Yeah.
I reached out to everywhere.
Yeah, Corbin hit me up, and I was like, okay, talk to this person, this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
One of them was very helpful.
Yeah. And so the fact that you got it back in 24 hours was actually a record-setting, that was record-breaking.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When he sent me the message, I was at a dinner with some friends, and I jumped from the table. I literally jumped out of my chair. I could not believe it was that quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't try to delete our channel again.
It's an awful feeling, man. I hate it.
It's the worst.
People have no idea. I remember years ago, I was traveling with her, and we had a bunch of Tanmay bot videos.
Yes.
That got struck all at once. Reactions got struck all at once.
He loves striking. Them.
And does he? Because like, so what happened was like we were on the verge of getting like our channel shut down, and then Tanmay bot called me up, and he goes, "That's not me. I like your videos. They're fine. We'll get this sorted out." And then they did, but like I was, yeah.
Yeah, we were about to board a flight as well, so it was like very nerve-wracking. 'Cause we're just like,
nothing you can do.
yeah.
Can't do anything anyways because there's nobody to talk to at Google.
Yeah.
Literally once a day, I get an email because I'm still working through something right now with the hacking. That we haven't been
That
able
is
to.
not resolved.
That is not
And
resolved yet.
He gets to respond to their
Once.
response once a day.
I think they're in India because they always reply in the middle of the night.
Wait, what is this?
The AdSense still hasn't been paid for February.
It's frozen.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's we're still waiting on
They're
that.
like,
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so you can reply like once a day, and
Yeah, it's a really weird
That's
thing that like so many people's jobs depend on like this becomes their full-time thing, right?
Right.
And there's just isn't enough manpower on the other side to sustain it all.
Yep.
You're getting 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube all the time. I would hope that YouTube would go, oh, this person has 1 million subscribers.
exactly.
We'll give them some priority. No,
Right,
nobody gets
because
priority.
They do when they give you the plaque that says that you've got 1 million, and
Yeah.
you're like out of the 1% of all the YouTube channels, you're in this elite category.
Right.
And then you have an issue. It's like, yeah, I'll get back to you in a minute.
So I did a lot of, like I said, I did a lot of conversation with ChatGPT to try to figure this out. And every bit of dialogue I plugged into ChatGPT to find out, like, is this AI? Is this AI? And ChatGPT said that it's at least AI assisted, meaning there's an AI computer thing on their side that goes, these are potential responses that you can give that person, and they'll just click that because those are Indians on the other side of the world who are dealing with our bullshit,
Right.
and they're just like they're dealing with thousands of YouTubers all at the same time, and just as fast as possible trying to respond with an answer that's safe so they don't get fired.
yeah.
That's my impression of the situation.
Sure. That makes sense.
Even with demonetization, it's the same thing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
got the yellow dollar sign.
Yeah.
But you try to fight that, and they're going to go with the safe answer because they don't want to get fired. And I get that. It's
Yeah.
just not enough people.
Yeah.
So, again, it would be nice if the 1 million subscriber accounts got more priority.
A little,
You know?
Just a little bit.
Just a little
It's
bit.
like
Yeah.
we're in here. We've proven ourselves.
Right.
Why are you coming after us like this?
Wow.
Especially when the situation you're dealing with is by no fault of your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing if they're giving you the runaround and giving you a little bit of a hard time because you've done something you shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
And you violated the policies. But when you get hacked or they give you strikes on videos that the copyright owner gave you permission and likes your videos, that's
Yeah.
not nice.
When was the last time you guys been to India?
His wife was just there.
Yeah, and Johnny just went for the first time in 3 years because what she didn't know when she was doing the whole visa transitioning to green card, neither one of us knew she couldn't leave the country till she got her green card.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
okay.
rough.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very
So
rough.
it was 2020, right? As
the-
COVID hit.
The meet and greet was the
Yeah.
last time we went back. I'll be going back with her
We
Oh,
got
5 years. Okay.
November maybe.
we
December.
got back because we went
Yeah, 5 years.
the first right after the first year of the anniversary of the channel because we went on Holy.
Yep.
That next year.
Yep, the
And
following
then
year. I had 3 trips that year.
We got back to America the day before the country shut down for COVID.
Didn't you go like in secret as well?
The first, yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
It's a story I love to tell people because it talks about not just how small the world is, but how quick information goes in this info generation we live in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't want people to know I was going because I knew a lot of stupid babies would be bothered by the fact that my first trip was without Corbin because they've been saying come to India, come to India. So I knew it was going to be a really quick trip. It wasn't going to be Delhi or Mumbai. It was going to be Calcutta. I thought maybe I could sneak.
Bengalis.
Just walk across that bridge. You'll be all right.
I'm changing planes in China.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Now, this was just the first hint that I got. This wasn't the reveal, but I'm waiting to get onto the plane. And there's a lot of Indian people going on this flight because it's going to
He's the
Calcutta.
reason we had COVID.
And
Exactly.
exactly. I had problems with my passport because of that. But this Indian woman comes up to me and she said it exactly like this. Excuse me, aren't you that great YouTuber Rick Siegel?
Oh wow, she said it just like that, huh?
Just like that.
She definitely did not.
Why would I lie about it? I don't know. And I thought, uh-oh, I don't know how long I'm going to keep this a secret. 2 days later in Calcutta, at a little place in the middle of the road there, they've got some chai, they got some guys playing chess, and this guy comes up to me and he says, "Here are stupid reactions. Can I take a picture?" Sure. Takes a photo. We're standing there maybe 2-3 minutes more.
Oh God.
We start to cross the street. He sends me a text that says, "They know you're here."
What?
I'm like, what?
They're in the room with us, right?
He sends me the photo that guy just took 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
Because he posted it and tagged us.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So in a span of 2 seconds, it got to Corbin, and then I was bombarded with messages from everybody going, "You're here. We know you're here." So yeah.
Well, that's really nice. The first lady though.
Yeah.
What a compliment.
It, well,
Yeah.
it really threw me.
Usually what I get is Jaby Kawai.
That's Jaby?
Like confused. They don't know if I'm North Indian or Jaby Kawai. You know, they're trying to figure it out. So,
Speaking of going to India, did that movie you were in come out?
It did.
It did.
It was-
she hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
It's,
But it was
out
released?
though.
It
It's
was
released, yeah.
released.
Okay.
Yeah. We were gonna do a reaction to it, but then just
We're gonna do
kind
a
of.
stupid reaction to it
Yeah.
with strategy.
No, I can't.
Can you say what movie it was?
Oh yeah, it's called The Bachelor Party.
And it never came out?
It came out.
Yeah, she said it was.
Okay.
It's been
Yeah.
released. And
It's
it was
been
called
released.
Bachelor Party.
Yeah, but I have a hard time watching my own stuff.
Yeah.
How was the experience though in Indian? Because obviously
Yeah.
you've worked here.
Yes.
So what was
Yeah, the whole on-set, the way they do things, the way
Very
the
different,
day
I'm
is
sure.
run.
Yes.
Very different.
That's all we've heard is it's very different.
It's very different. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it's like similar. You know, there's a lot of waiting around,
Right.
which like you do on any set in
Yeah.
any country in the world.
There's
I
a
think
lot of waiting around.
a lot of waiting
a
around.
lot of people don't have any clue how much that is what you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like hurry up and wait.
Yep.
And yeah, but it was a fun time. Like I met a lot of really cool people, and because you know with the waiting around, and you're just
Right.
like waiting around and making new friends and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. And the stuff.
We made friends with the AD real fast because he'd come to Achara and be like, okay, so your call time tomorrow is 10 a.m. And I'd look at him, I go,
Yeah.
what time is our call time? Really?
Right.
Like for
Like, what ti-
realsies,
like, what
is
time?
it really 10 a.m. or is it like
you said 10 a.m.
4?
yesterday and she didn't shoot till 5.
10
so-
a.m. is like Indian
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that happened every day. Every single day it was like that.
They
And
were
I'm like,
that far off
and
of...
she would get stressed out about like, oh my God, I'm late. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, trust me.
Yeah.
You'll
You
be all right.
should have called SAG. Reported him.
But
Yeah.
you had a good time.
Yeah,
though.
I had a good
Action.
time. Yeah, the action scene. There was one scene where it was just like mayhem. I'd never done an action scene before. And so in the scene, there's like some gangsters that show up and they start shooting up the wedding party, and then they like set off these little explosions, and I had to like run in the middle of them, and I had like my character had like a 5-year-old child. And so I'm like screaming his name, like, where are you? And then got to look at the footage back. So they shot it. What did they shoot it? Like a
High frame rate.
yeah, like
Slow
a slow
motion.
motion,
slow motion, yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
And it looked so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
This is already out?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But
Okay.
like
We
it was
gotta
so
react to this.
scary because I'd never done anything like that before. And I remember like they said cut, and then the AD was like, wow, that looked so good. Like your acting was so good. And I was like, I wasn't acting, I was terrified. like these things.
That's a very Bill Burr moment.
It's really like it's really loud, and there was like stuff flying around, and it like hits you, and it kind of hurts. And
How
it's
many
like,
takes did you have to do of that?
like 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, there was some Bill Burr film where he was opposite of Hugh Jackman, And Hugh Jackman has such a presence about him that Bill Burr dropped his notebook because he's a reporter in the movie.
Right.
And the director's like, wow, that was such a good touch that you did. He's like, I genuinely dropped that because I was scared. He wasn't bullshitting.
It was Telugu? Or?
Telugu. No.
No, it was Canada.
Canada, that's right.
Yeah.
I haven't said this anywhere, I don't think, but I actually have a cameo in the movie as well.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And so.
And it's out?
And it's out, yeah. The director asked me at the last second when we were
Why
trying
didn't we
to
hear about this?
we were trying to head out to like just the next part of India, and he's like, "Can you just stay one more night? We want you to do something in this." And I was like, "All right." And so I just have a quick thing in and out, but yeah, it was fun.
Probably, you know why? Because that industry, that doesn't get the same level of buzz that we get from other industries.
What?
It's probably
Unless it's
no
Canada.
Oh, it's
Unless it's
Canada.
unless it's like a really really big action
big,
movie.
massive
Yeah.
action film.
Yeah, this one's just like
Yeah.
a cute little comedy.
I think
Yeah.
the funniest thing is I had more lines than Achara though in that one little cameo. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't speak English in this movie.
Yeah.
I spoke Thai.
Oh.
So I was just playing a Thai character. There's a lot of like looks.
Were you playing
Just
an Indian?
disgusted.
I was playing Jaby Kuwait.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
big
It was
Yeah,
it was a
literally.
legit cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Jaby cameo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that made me talking about that made me think about. I wanted to ask you guys something. How do you feel about the trend towards ultra violence in Indian cinema?
Whoa, Jaby.
Because I've been. Have you
With a
noticed?
hard hitting question.
noticed that?
Whoa, Jaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
This is
past
our-
like year and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were talking about Canada films, and like when it's super violent, that's when the whole country notices.
That's true.
And they're like, "Oh, you got to see this." But it's like, why is that the only marker of something that is pan-Indian? Why, like, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh, we agree.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
For example, we loved hearing because we find entertainment value in the violence predominantly because it's always linked typically to great stunt work and cinematography.
Okay, fair enough.
So love that. A movie like Kill, it works because it isn't the only thing they're trying to sell the movie on.
Correct.
They actually have a
saw it,
story,
right?
and
I did.
They have a story, and they have solid performances, and then on top of that, you have that bonus feature. What I think all four of us probably agree to the fact is when all they're saying is it's the most violent movie that's ever been made, and then you go and A, it's not,
No.
and then B, there's
Oh.
nothing else of substance. I'm talking about like say a separate film that's advertised that way with the ultra violence.
Yeah.
They bill it that way,
That was Marco.
and then it's not as ultra violent as you were expecting.
Okay.
But even worse, that's the only thing that's in there is the violence. There's really nothing of substance or artistry
Right.
in it that you can appreciate. So
I
it's-
love violence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love violence in movies if it's done right. But if it's just like violent and it's not like good, like it's not like making me like go like ooh, like I don't.
Yeah, his reactions. I really love his reactions to particularly
Bone
great
breaks.
sound for the bone breaks,
Okay.
knee breaks, arm breaks, but. Don't have a problem in regard to say because I know a lot of people in India and even here in the U.S. with violent films is they think that it can have an adverse effect on society, especially with young people seeing that type of thing depicted on screen. And for me, that falls under the parenting guys for me more than it does the responsibility of filmmakers to think.
Oh, okay.
I'm going
Okay.
to temper my film because I don't want to be negatively affecting on culture. I don't think the filmmakers need to.
What about
be
you,
concerned
Jaby?
about that.
I was just stuck on this other stupid thought.
What?
Because you said I love violence, and the
Oh,
way
I
you
do.
said it reminded me of this commercial of this Asian guy walking up in a appliance store going, "I love refrigerators." And
Was it you that posted it? There's an Asian couple owns a donut shop.
Yes.
The
In
donut
Burbank.
commercial.
oh, I saw that.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why I saw that.
Did you go?
George Lopez endorses
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We would have if we were still in NoHo right now, but
Yeah.
because we're not, we are absolutely going to go. That place has been around a long time. But how do we get on that from the ultra-violent question?
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
ultra
yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
Okay,
Answer
so
the question, Jaby.
I saw Kill, and I liked it. I was a little bit frustrated that they fridged the girl, just because like she's just the catalyst for the violence, effectively.
Sure.
But I actually liked it more than the Indonesian film The Raid. Insofar as how it conducts the violence, it felt like there was actually like purpose to it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like constantly at a 10 in terms of how graphic you could be.
Right.
It was kind of ramping up to that level of violence in a succession, like music,
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a cool way to go about it. And it got out as soon as it needed to. But I did not like Animal.
Yeah.
I really
You're
didn't like
preaching
that
to the
movie.
choir here, brother.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of what's interesting is I saw this Reddit thread because doing what we do,
Yes.
you know, being Americans that have channels that focus on Indian content,
Yeah.
you're gonna naturally get a certain amount of hate,
Yeah,
of
right?
course.
Because they think that
Always.
you're just trying to take advantage of Indians,
You bet.
Yes.
right? And so there was a Reddit thread that they captured my clip from a live stream, me talking about Animal with Achara, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't like Jaby, but I am 100% agreement with him on Animal.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he doesn't like this says a lot about that movie."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, there's that.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was just violence for the sake of it, and then everyone's trying to copy that.
Right.
Oh, yep.
I'm like, what do you?
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Is it can become numbing to the extent of it's just if you're just wanting to do violence for the sake of violence. That what part of storytelling is that incorporating in any way, shape, or form? How is that?
We just left, and I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil what it is in case you guys are going to watch it at some point, but we left a movie at the interval, and it's this big movie. And it wasn't like it was awful because we didn't like KGF 2. We thought that was
Okay.
really bad. We didn't like Animal. Those are really bad movies in our opinion. But this one wasn't like awful, but it felt like all they were trying to do was be KGF 2, basically. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, it really felt like
And so
that was their primary focus. Was this is going to be our KGF2?
Okay. Okay.
And so, obviously, I don't know if you guys are gonna watch the film, so I don't want to spoil it. But it just did lead me to this question because I don't know if you guys ever tell the audience how many times have you stopped watching a movie. You don't have to name the movie.
There was one movie.
Just one?
Only one where you stopped.
There was one movie at a film festival.
Oh my God, you're taking me way back. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
was very early on.
Yeah.
It was at an Indian film festival.
Yeah.
I think it was Malayalam. It was a Malayalam.
It
movie.
might have been.
It was just a very, very, very artsy Malayalam film.
Okay.
Where it
Love
just felt
those.
like it was going nowhere. It's like the beginning had nothing to do with the second act at all. It was just like very atmospheric, kind of like in who's the guy who directed A New World? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name now. He's a very art house kind of like high budget art house director.
Yeah.
And if you ever see A New World, which is the Pocahontas movie.
Yeah, I love the score from that film.
Okay.
Yeah.
That film, like, it's beautiful, but it bores me to death.
Yeah.
And
Boring film, beautiful score.
Yeah. And so likewise with this movie, it was just very atmospheric, and you're watching this festival happen, and then you're watching these characters over here do this thing, and then that transitions into the second act, and all that you just saw has nothing to do with this over here. And I'm like, what is
What's
this
going
movie? And then you're just in a truck with aimless dialogue as these people are taken hostage. And I'm like, I don't have any connection to anything happening, and I want to go.
Yeah, and I don't
You know,
care what's
yeah.
happening.
And so
Yeah.
she's like, we can go, and that was it. That was the only Indian film we ever stopped
Not
watching.
during a watch along. You guys never.
No.
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 Really?
Yeah. The only time I ever had to stop a movie, but I resumed it, was Margarita with a Straw, because I started crying. Like, horribly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I
he
was sobbing.
He was really,
Yeah.
really
That makes sense.
triggered.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're watching a film, for example, I'm assuming you've watched films where you've thought, "Huh," you fight through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Find a way. Just,
Well, I think that growing up in LA and going to enough of friends' movie premieres,
You've become conditioned to it.
you're like, you just sort of like, I've been through worse. You know?
There could be worse things I'm going through.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Jaby.
Yeah, like I think when you have those worst days of your life, kind of thing, it trains you for the other stuff really well.
Yeah.
Because like I used to work in casting, and like commercial casting, and like 2 of the worst days of my life, my father dying being the third one.
Wow.
So like two of the worst days of my life were in casting, and so it's like any
you guys
other
don't have
gig
that fun
after that was easy.
Right.
It's like when you have dealt with that, everything else becomes manageable.
Well, it says a lot if you're watching a film and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, this was better than when my dad died."
Yeah, exactly. No, you just learn you figure it out, or we just start talking.
Yeah.
like,
Or we just start
Yeah.
making jokes or
Yeah.
just having fun.
Yeah.
Or like you just try and find the things that you appreciate, you know,
Like,
and then
it's sometimes really fun to watch really bad movies.
yeah.
yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
guys,
that's true.
do you guys-
Although then they get really mad that you're making fun of the movie.
right? Do you guys bring earplugs to South Indian movies?
Oh yes, brother. And if I forgot the earplugs, I've got my AirPods,
Okay.
so I'll put that in too. But
Okay.
I'll have to.
It has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Which one did it was like? It was KGF 2.
KGF 2 was
like
the
final
one
straw.
that was the final straw for me. It's happened enough times to me now. I don't
And
want
that
to lose
movie
my
was
hearing.
so loud.
It was just deafening. But yeah, they're all that. I mean, they have to be loud enough so that it can be heard above the screaming audiences.
Yeah.
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 You know, the funniest thing is the loudest movie I've ever been to wasn't even an Indian movie. It was the last Jurassic World movie. I don't know if the theater just cranked
Really?
it up for some reason.
Man of Steel did that.
Really?
When it was released, I remember going and seeing Man of Steel and thinking, "Why is it so loud?"
It was Boyhood for me.
You lie.
Boyhood.
No way.
So loud.
Did you like Boyhood? I want to
Is that
argue.
the 8-year one?
Yeah.
Who directed that? Richard Linklater?
Who gives a
Linklater.
shit?
Linklater.
Jaby.
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, good.
No, I didn't like it.
And I respect you more
Achara.
because of it.
It was
Did you
what
see it?
I did. It was all right.
it was one of those
Yeah.
movies where like the entire time I was waiting for something to happen.
It was terrible.
There was like one scene where these kids were throwing a knife at a wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's about to go down. This is the moment. And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is just. Maybe if I watched it again, I'd appreciate it more. Because, like, now you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because that's happened to me before. Like, I didn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the first time I saw it. I saw it.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And then I saw it a second time and appreciated it better
Yeah.
the second time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Quentin movie?
Quentin.
I think. Okay.
Tarantino.
Yeah, obviously.
You just watched it. You watched Inglourious, right?
I've seen Inglorious. I didn't
You
watch
watched
that
Hateful
recently.
Eight recently.
Yeah, I liked Hateful Eight.
There's Kill Bill. There's
Django.
There's.
I really, really like Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill's great.
Yeah.
Did you see Volume 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I like Volume 1 better than
Okay.
Volume 2.
Yeah.
I was going to say From Dusk Till Dawn, but that's
Hey.
only written by him, not directed by him.
Deep cuts.
Yeah. I think for me it's Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is the one that like inspired me the most.
Yeah.
In terms of like how I write and like, because I love to write just sort of dialogue that feels like it's meandering when it's really going somewhere.
Like Quentin.
Like Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, he's the one that inspired that. In terms of like the way I like to shoot is probably inspired by Martin Scorsese and Spielberg. At this, like just
Right, the visual feel.
Yeah, the visual feel of it. Yeah, but the dialogue I like to write has sort of that vibe of Tarantino. That not like I didn't do that in Love, Punch, Kill. In Love, I definitely had some liquor. I can hear it in my voice.
Slow down.
we got half the bottle
Yeah.
down here.
We can keep going.
When I start to merge my words, I'm like, oh, there's definitely some liquor in there. I didn't do that in Love, Punch, Kill because I was trying to get in and out.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do love that sort of feeling of it feels like it's meandering, but you realize as it goes on, like, oh, no, this is important. Like, all of this comes around, which I didn't actually feel in Inglourious Bastards. I don't know if you guys like that or not.
I liked Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, I
My
like
favorite is Django.
Okay.
I love Django.
Okay.
so
I
like
much,
Inglourious
but
Bastards.
I love Inglourious Bastards as well.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Inglourious Bastards is what he does in a lot of his films, where he takes history and flips it and says, "What if this is what happened?"
Right.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
thing about Inglourious
Mine's the
Bastards.
feet.
Well, I understand why. I mean, and that's the, guy to go to.
The man can shoot feet.
Quentin is the
okay?
man to go to for the foot shot. Yeah.
Didn't he like? Whose foot was it that got put in his mouth for something he wrote?
Wasn't it Uma?
Yeah,
No, Uma
no,
Thurman-
it was in
the vampire
From
one.
Dusk Till
From
Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Salma Hayek's
Oh, it
first
was Selma Hayek.
He
Yeah.
wrote it, cast it himself.
Of course.
genius.
Of course.
He has no shame.
The man's
None.
a perv.
Does not
The
care.
man's a perv.
I think that the only film he's directed that doesn't feature feet is Reservoir Dogs.
You
Well,
don't
it's all
want to see any
guys.
manky man feet.
Yeah, it's all guys.
Who wants to see manky man
Quentin
feet?
doesn't want to see man feet.
No, not at
Man
all.
feet are gross.
Because he had Uma Thurman's feet in Pulp Fiction and in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Volume 1 at least. I don't know about Volume 2. And then he featured what's her name, Margot Robbie's feet in. I can't believe this is the subject of the conversation right now. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'll bring it. I'll bring it worse.
Yeah.
Whose feet do you think he would love most in Bollywood?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, there are lots of nice
Lots of
feet.
pretty feet.
India and feet? That's
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh gosh. Then you know one of the
like a... Topeka
first
has great feet.
one of the first instances. It's funny that you know that.
I know, right?
Yeah,
One of the first instances I noticed that was a Shah Rukh Khan film.
it was.
The one that was in theaters for 20 years.
No, I was thinking of Dave Das. but-
Devdas, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a whole sequence where he's kissing her feet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's right.
So,
who was
Ashwarya Rai.
Ashwarya or
It's
Kajol?
Ashwarya.
Yeah, it was Ashwarya.
Ashwarya.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, probably Ashwarya.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably Ashwarya.
For
or
that
Big
se-
B.
Big
or
B.
Big B.
Big B's probably got some lovely nubs.
If anybody wants some
There it is.
shots, like this is actually a chai. I was
Oh,
at
that's
All Big
cute.
B characters.
I was at the Indian grocery store the other day, and it was $8.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
adorable.
I have to have it. I don't know if you've seen them all, but
Probably not.
No, never seen that.
Cholet.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what this one is. So you,
No, that's a look.
Yeah.
Pa. Have you
Pa.
seen Pa? I haven't seen Pa.
I know
What
what
is
that?
Pa.
We haven't seen
Oh, yeah, I
haven't
haven't
it
seen
yet.
Pa
I haven't
yet.
seen Pa. And then I
We
think this
think
is sexy.
that's
This is
Sexy Sam.
Kank. You saw Kank, right?
No.
Oh, you
Kabi
did
Ha,
see
Kabi
Kank.
Na.
I did?
It's
Yeah.
the cheating one where Shah Rukh Khan cheats.
Oh,
You saw
yes,
that
yes,
with
yes, yes, yes.
Kristen.
I don't know what is Kank. Sorry.
Amir Akbar Anthony.
Oh.
It's a classic. Amir Akbar Anthony.
We haven't seen
No,
that
no,
one
no,
yet.
no.
Oh,
like
it's
it.
fucking
We're a
amazing.
split decision on
And then
that
this
one.
is Shankar or
He
Shakar.
loves that movie.
No, we haven't seen this one.
No. The other one.
Oh, Amir
Amar
Akbar
Akbar
I
Anthony.
feel
yeah.
like you guys have seen more than I have at this point.
It depends.
Yeah.
You were doing this for 5 years before we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we grew our team.
What, on
Yes.
average, how many films do you typically cover, say, in a year's time? On average, you think?
We're not keeping count.
Yeah, the whole team. It's a lot though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking the channel.
Oh God. I don't know. The thing is, it's a mix of everything, right? Because we have American and Indian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so in a day we could watch upwards of 4 movies.
Yeah.
And that's just one day.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we shoot at a minimum of 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And it could go upwards of 6 days a week.
How many? And so I'm curious because nobody has ever had my job before. What is your hours like during those days?
I try to keep it from 10 to 6:30. But it can go long. It can go well into midnight.
And that's just filming. That's not editing. Too?
oh no, that's
Oh, no,
everything.
that's everything.
Okay, I was
That's
gonna say, damn,
everything.
if that's just the filming.
No.
Okay.
The filming usually, depending.
That's the whole day.
Yeah, we try to keep
Yeah.
the filming between 11 and 6:30. But
Yeah.
you know, some people prefer to have more hours just because they get paid more if they work more hours, and so
Right.
they'll work from 10 to 9.
Right.
You know, on once or twice a week.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we'll end up, like me and certain hosts will shoot all day long, and it's like we start when it's sunlight and end
Right.
when it's
Yeah.
dark out, and so it just depends. Every week is different. So how about you
Yeah.
guys?
No,
Yeah,
it's
very different.
the bulk of the heavy lifting's all on Corbin. He's got the heavy
I have
lifting.
children. Okay, so I can't do that. And so we actually, when we shoot, obviously if it's a movie, we'll make time for the entirety. But if it's just regular reactions, it's usually 2 hours,
2 to 2.5 hours. Some on a strange day, 3.
4 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But obviously that doesn't include editing or anything.
Right,
like
right,
that.
Yeah.
That's just us in this
And
room.
every once in a while, something will drop. We weren't slated to film, and so we'll Zoom react to it
Yeah.
occasionally. But everything else is on him.
It's so funny. I saw you in an interview.
Me?
I think it was with Nona Prince.
Oh yeah.
And you were talking about the differences between our channels. But he said something that I thought was hilarious. He said, "You're very technical. You're like, oh, this has to be right. This has to be right." And he says, "OSR doesn't even care if the frame is right."
Well, that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, but it's not it. It's
That's
partially
partially
true.
true.
Yeah.
Partially true. I care if it's correct, but also if it's not, I'll do it anyway. I'll post it, which
Sure.
I don't think you would do.
No, Jaby would be like,
Yeah, that's what I
throw
don't
it
know.
out.
Yeah.
No,
That's
this
what I-
kind of this is not good quality.
Yeah,
We don't do this.
In the same interview, you said multiple times about like little things that you would
Yeah.
go in on. What are some of those little things? I just want to know.
Sound.
Okay, sound
Just-
is,
it's
sound is the biggest one because, like, even today I was correcting an edit that we got back from our team, and the end of a word will get cut off, and that'll drive me nuts. Or there was a brand deal that they edited for her, and she was supposed to say, hey,
Yeah,
hello, Star Trek.
this one's for you, Star Trek fans.
Yeah, and they cut off the S, so it sounded like singular fan, and that like made me so mad. Like, and so that kind of stuff will get on my last nerve.
And I'm like, Jaby, the
Yeah.
client approved this.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we move on?
No.
And
No,
he's
he
like,
won't be
no,
able to sleep.
no.
Yeah.
So then he has to open up the edit. Then when he opens up the edit, then he finds like 15,000 other things that
Yeah.
are not right.
Yes.
pretty much.
So like, I feel like our editors, if
OCD.
they
Yeah.
ever start hearing from Jaby and they know that Jaby checked their edit, then they're like, then they're nervous.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, if Achara checked, I'm like the most lenient one.
Right.
I'll be
Like,
like,
that'll work.
It's good enough.
Sure.
It's good enough. It's fine.
Right.
Like the people watching
They just
aren't
wanna
that
see you-
precious. They just want to see the thing.
Yeah.
And then if our other in-house editor is looking at it, she's like about 50% as meticulous as him, or maybe like 70%. And so then she'll have a lot of notes. But then if it's Jaby,
Yeah, no one's as
oh boy.
meticulous as Jaby.
But
No.
that just comes from being like an all-in-one kind of filmmaker,
Right. Yeah.
Where when you show something to someone, that is most likely going to be the only time they ever see it,
Yeah.
and so you gotta give them the best possible experience,
Right.
And so when it comes to YouTube videos, I'm always thinking of the audience's experience, and so sometimes what editors will do is they'll do what's called denoise the movie so that you can't hear it as well to get like to deal with the copyright issues and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I personally will strip it of that and go in and cut it so that I can get past the copyright issues and
That way.
and preserve that sound.
Right.
Because I know that the audience would rather hear the audio better.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it always comes down to the audience for me.
but then like it takes 5 times as long.
Sure.
Sure.
So it's like it's a balancing act between like, okay, is this one of these where we take it apart and basically re-edit the entire movie so that it doesn't get a copyright claim or it
Yeah.
doesn't get blocked?
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Or
Especially after you've posted it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, there was a new person. We had a team manager for a long time, and then he got elevated,
Promoted.
and
Yes.
so then we had a new team manager come in over in India with our team, and I was like, I introduced myself. I said, "Hey, this is Jaby. I'm very loud. I'm an asshole, but don't be afraid of me."
Yeah.
You know. It's just because I'm very aggressive with getting what I want to
Yeah,
make
you're
sure
really
the audience is
passionate
happy.
about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a particular way because I want the audience to be happy. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so the answer is yes. But I forgot what the original question was.
What things matter to you? Like what things are you picky
Oh, like
about?
okay, so one of
Sound.
my hosts tries to get comfortable whenever she sits down. Her name is Kristen, and I always come up to her. I'm like, "Is your chair up all the way?" Every day she comes in because I'm trying to balance it where her chin is not gonna go behind the picture in picture.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I think about everything
Yeah.
from end to end. So whether it's
Oh, you're gonna hate this video.
or breathing.
if it's not my video, I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
Jaby's other pet peeve is breathing.
Like hearing the breathing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Why the
I
fuck
have
are you breathing?
Yeah, like because the microphones are usually right here, right?
Right.
So then if you're especially if you're a good nose breather and you're like
What kind of mics do you guys use? You
We use
use the headset.
Yeah, the
So it's
Audio
right- it's
Technica.
right there.
That's
it's
fine.
right there.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
these don't pick up the breathing at all.
Well,
So like I've had to train myself. I now breathe through my mouth during reactions very silently.
Jaby,
Because Mike picks it
what are
up.
you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
no,
very good.
because what I tell her to do is like just pivot the mic a little bit so it's not picking up the nostril air. That's
Yeah.
it. Because we
But-
all breathe through our nose.
But then sometimes especially during reactions he'll be like, "Oh my god, I can hear the breathing. Why doesn't
Her
anybody
nose-
mute
her
the
nose-
breathing?"
Her nose is a 180-degree projection.
Listen,
Mine goes down.
I've been practicing yoga for years, okay?
Yes, that's it.
So my ujjayi breath is strong.
Yeah. But yeah,
If you just do that, then you could just if the mic's on this side, you can just
yeah, exactly.
Someone's
there you go.
yeah.
No, some people are heavy breathers and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And so I'll have them look at me and I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead, breathe, and I'll test
Do a
it.
test.
Yeah, but they're so nervous when I'm asking them to do that, they're not breathing properly.
Yeah.
But
And then they're like really relaxed in the reaction and it's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
that'll get on my last nerve.
You've always been very. That's one thing I've noticed about you, especially in the beginning when I saw the differences in Shannon. Obviously, we were filming on my phone at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we were doing.
We were filming up on my phone basically until A.R. Rahman.
yeah.
That's
We
when
always
everything
do.
changed.
In order for us to see what we were filming,
We had 1 million subscribers by that
he
time.
would have his phone up, but it would be facing us. Obviously, the cameras are facing us, and we wanted to see if it was recording, because if it turned off, we wouldn't know. So we had a little tiny mirror that we called a mirror con. It was a mirror con, and I would set it up on the couch behind, and he
Yeah.
would sit there and he'd go, okay, to the right, to the left. Okay, and we would just have that little mirror so we could see
That
if
actually
it was
stressed
recording.
me out. The amount of times we lost reactions.
Yeah, because
We
the
lost
camera
a lot.
a lot because
wow.
we didn't know the camera had stopped.
Anyways,
Oh,
but
man.
the A.R. Rahman story is we got this interview somehow with A.R. Rahman. He was here in town, and he wanted to meet us and do an interview with us. So I came.
At his house.
All I had was my little phone and my tripod.
Oh my god.
Yeah, literally
I
nothing
set it
else,
up
guys.
and he's the sweetest guy. It's not like he was doing a militia. He's like, "You don't have any mics?" I said no, and he's like, "I'll get you some mics."
Oh wow. Well,
I said Jaby would have died.
I would hope you had some mics.
Yeah, he did. He was very
Yeah.
sweet about it, but he was so surprised he couldn't keep his surprise hidden. He was just, you don't have mics?
Going back on those is like it's so terrible. The audio is so awful.
No, but it made you guys popular, so
Yeah.
it did its job.
Yeah, the
You know?
very low quality.
Yeah. Well, the sincerity of the
Yeah.
fact that, we don't
I
pretend
just
anything.
I just set up my phone.
You get what you see.
Sometimes people actually prefer that.
Yeah.
And then they hate it as well.
Oh, do
They
they?
hate it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because
Well,
you're saying what you think about one of their favorite things.
Oh, I see
You
what
know
you're saying.
that, you know
But just in terms of the quality, I think that there is a large section of people out there that prefer the rougher on the edges look.
Yes.
You know,
Sure.
because like I'm using. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go. You're using.
I'm using cinema cameras, in our
Yes.
studio. Like
Yeah.
they're called Canon R5Cs, and they
Right.
shoot like we don't shoot at the highest resolution.
Right.
They shoot at 8K.
Yeah.
But we shoot at 1080p because the proxy files that they give us are so good we can punch in on our faces,
Right.
and it looks really good still. And I'm
Right.
a stickler for quality, right?
Yeah.
But there are people who just shoot on their phone with the front-facing camera, which is like the worst camera.
Yes.
Of course.
And they'll
But
still
they
do
do
well.
it so they can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll still do very well.
Yeah.
And so my brother, I remember at one point, both because he's huge now, right?
Yes.
But earlier on, he used to have this Rode microphone, and he didn't have a stand for it, and so he literally had it in a shoebox.
Yeah.
And like he had professional other like high level YouTubers come over, and they would see his setup. Achara, do you want to drink?
There's
Oh, no, I'm good.
There's a refrigerator full of those. I will not drink those.
Yeah, you are not too good. Good for
My,
you.
my little girly drinks,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so Greg would have that set up in a shoebox, and it's like he would just commit. He's
yeah,
like,
please.
This is what I got to do to make it work."
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is ultimately like people ask us all the time, "What equipment should I get?" And I'm like, "Do you have a phone?" And
Yeah.
they go,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I go,
Start
"For
with
sure
that.
you go."
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a phone, you can shoot, you can edit, you can post.
Especially now.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like don't get all the fancy stuff until you're well on your
Until
way.
you
Because
just-
because you don't even know if you're gonna enjoy it. You don't even know if you're gonna like achieve success. And I think another
Yeah.
thing I tell people is like, don't expect to get successful or to make a steady income right away
Oh,
because
no.
you
No
might not.
way.
You might not
Yeah.
for a long time. So
Long
you have to
time.
love what you do.
And it's not going to be the equipment why people subscribe.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
never going to be it. I don't
Yeah.
think. Obviously, they'll appreciate that as it goes along, the quality of the videos. But we have I don't know if you've heard of his name is Jimmy Cage. He does Indian reactions as well, and he was doing it before us. But he just quit YouTube.
Oh.
They had been doing it for 8 years
For a long
or so,
time. He's
I
in
wanna
Europe,
say.
right?
Yeah.
Where is he in Europe? He's like
I
in
don't-
Denmark or something?
something like that.
Yeah.
But I think he ended on like 70,000 subscribers, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
He's a great reviewer.
Really articulate and
Um,
clearly a lover of film.
Yeah.
And really articulate.
But it just doesn't work out sometimes. And you don't know why.
no explaining.
But yeah, like if anybody's starting out, it's not gonna be the equipment why you make it or don't make it. I think. I mean, unless
Yeah.
it's just awful.
Well,
Obviously,
I mean, yeah, there
have
was
some type of quality.
there was a video I saw break this down a while ago. This is years ago, so I don't know if it's still relevant, but I think it is. This guy was breaking down like the rules of what makes a strong YouTube video. And he's like, none of that matters. It's the content that is king. Here's this, and he showed this guy who's in Brazil, like a surfer person and a surfer YouTuber, and he shoots all his videos on a GoPro. And it's just like not even a good GoPro.
Right.
It was like an early GoPro, and he's got 10 million subscribers.
Yeah.
You know, and he just makes it work.
Yep.
And then the other rule is thumbnails, like how strong are your thumbnails? And he showed this other channel which had crappy thumbnails, but each of their videos got like 100,000 views. So you look at any Joe Rogan video.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan, but he's always had those kinds of thumbnails.
Right.
Since he started YouTube.
Right.
And so it's like I don't know. It's weird how and no one knows how the algorithm truly works.
No.
Because I remember a couple of years back there was this young girl who got an RV, and she's like life inside of an RV, like living on the road.
Right.
She did a video about it and got 1 million subscribers overnight. And it's like, how do you even?
How did that happen?
How do you control for that? Like, there's
Right.
no way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way
Yeah.
you can replicate that.
No.
The algorithm's just weird.
Yeah.
And so, but one of the thoughts that was crossing through my mind as we're talking about this is the notion of, you guys ever gotten the comment of you're taking advantage of Indians?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time.
Do you ever respond to that?
Maybe in the beginning.
I for sure did in the beginning. I was pretty.
Yeah, you were bad.
I was really, really. The two things I did that I've changed and I'm really thankful for was I would respond to everything,
All hate,
and I would take it all very personally.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
okay.
can't.
Can't
No.
not do that.
No.
No,
It's
but
not good for your mental health.
No.
not at. You know what? The straw that broke. Well, two things that broke the proverbial camel's back for me was, I happened to not like a Salman Khan thing,
Oh dear.
and the rage that was directed at me, which was a good thing because then my wife said, "See, Corbin's right. You need to not give a shit."
I literally try to tell you that every day.
But for me,
I'm always right.
I don't give a crap. Now, people can say it all day long. I won't even respond to it. It's when it's a one-on-one, if I'm talking to somebody in person, and it's the reverse. It's not the accusation that I'm taking advantage. It's the assumption and the good job on you. Like, oh, that's a great market you tapped into.
Yeah.
And it's like, we didn't tap
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
We were reacting to movies because we love movies.
Yeah.
And we lightning hit a bottle because we just were honest about love and film.
It was
Yeah.
Gully Boy.
Right.
And we would have stopped if it was crap. And
Yeah.
we'll tell people if we think it's crap.
Yeah.
Even if it's people we know, we'll say, yeah, we didn't like the movie. So what about you, as far as people saying it? He typically will just say, he does not give a rat's ass.
Oh, no.
I made a video some time ago. I forgot what I titled it. Something about, was India planned or something
Yeah.
like that.
Was India a calculated
Was India
move?
calculated move? Because I just got tired of that.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
being a thing.
It's like,
You
come on,
used
guys.
to respond to things more in video form.
Yeah.
You should do it more.
Yeah.
Gabby.
And it took 20 minutes to explain how I got here. And I'm just like, I wasn't even trying to hit the Indian market.
Right.
It just exploded.
It happened.
It just happened. Exactly. That's the great way to put it. It just
Yeah,
happened.
it just happened.
I'm forever thankful for it. 'Cause
Yes.
Of course.
Like the way I look at it is it saved my life at that time.
Yeah.
Because I was going through a rough patch that
Right.
that felt irrecoverable. And then it felt like India, oopsie, sorry. It felt like India was one of 3 major components that saved my life at that time. And so, like, I'm grateful, but I wasn't aiming for that.
Yeah.
You know?
It almost I almost take a personal offense to it because it's been such a huge blessing to my life in so many ways. It's literally life changing.
You got a whole tattoo for it, too.
I do. I've got a full blown ink.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife is because of the channel. So much of my prior bias I didn't even know I had about Indian cinema that I didn't even know was there, and even India itself opened up my eyes. So it's almost the other thing that I used to take personally all the time was I wore my heart on my sleeve, and I thought, if you know me and you watch the channel at all, what would make you think we're trying to take advantage of anybody? But thankfully, it doesn't bother me.
Luckily, it doesn't happen
Anymore.
as much anymore. Obviously, both of our channels have been doing it a good while now.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you'd think that if a person's at least known us, like about us for a while, they're like, oh, they've been doing this for a while. Why would they continue to do it
Yeah.
if they didn't actually enjoy it? Obviously, it is our job.
Yeah.
It is our job to create content, watch movies and stuff. But if I'm not, I promise you, I'm not going to finish a movie if I don't like the movie.
Yeah, and
or-
we're not going to say something positive about something if we don't. We care. The heart of it for us from the very beginning was the reason we did this is because for years we're just doing what we've always did in private. We would talk about movies and we'd watch the Oscars and tell each other why the other person's stupid because you like that film and don't like that film. And because we care so much about the art form of cinema,
Yeah.
we want to tell people, celebrate this film,
Right.
avoid this one, don't give it your money. And that's just you guys are the same way.
Yeah.
You care so much about the art form.
We just hate each other because of our channels.
Exactly.
I think especially in the beginning, the subscribers definitely wanted there to be beef
They really did.
more than there ever was.
Yeah.
Because to my knowledge, there was never any beef. Jaby, do you want to tell your side of the story?
Well, okay. So, being.
Yeah, I'd love to know that.
So.
What did you think when we started?
Yeah, no. So
Fucking white
when I
guys.
first came on the scene, there was a channel called Bolly Fools.
Yep.
And my subscriber count completely eclipsed theirs, and I felt bad because I was like, I know what they're probably feeling which is like, who's this new kid
Right,
that
how
just
the
came
hell
on the
did that
scene?
happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to them and I collaborated with them multiple times because I was like, look, I'm cool. Don't worry. Like, I want to help you guys too. I want it to be a mutually helpful thing. And when their channel was going through a lot, I tried my best to help them keep their channel alive in whatever way I could. And so when new channels would pop up, there was a part of me that would feel a little bit of tinge of competition, but then that would wear off, and I'd be like, okay, I don't care anymore. And what taught me a big lesson was this guy named Tama Puck, who was actually there before me doing Indian stuff, like literally 2 weeks before me. So we were there at the same time. And I remember I really didn't like him initially because I was just like, oh, this guy, and I was just competing with him. Like, we would put out a video at the same time, and I was just like really monitoring who's
getting more views.
And it was like, it was so childish when I reflect on it, especially because when I saw he wasn't posting anymore, I was like, wait, where'd he go? It's like, what happened to him? And I reached, yeah, I reached out to him, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why aren't you posting? And he goes, oh, well, I figured you got it. You know, I'm going into this other field now. And I felt sad.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately felt sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like, you're supposed to, no, man. And so, but I didn't say that to him. I just kept it to myself. And so, yeah, like, I have a different perspective on it. I have a different perspective on it now, you know, thanks to those experiences.
Yeah.
But I used to feel that tinge of competitiveness back in the day.
Yeah.
But,
and it has changed a lot since, like, even we started.
Well, I think that there's a lot more Indians doing reactions now.
Yeah.
Ever since, you know, all of us started doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that. I'm happy that that exists.
Me too.
And I wish, speaking of AI, I wish AI would catch up faster to be able to translate our videos.
Yes.
No joke.
Yeah.
And sub our movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. On.
Yeah. So I haven't spoken about this publicly. This may as well be the place for it, if people are still watching this video at this point. So I had a
Breaking news.
I had a YouTube channel, or I have a YouTube channel called Cinedosed, and no one knows what Cinedosed is. No one has any idea except for her
about what the content will be.
what the content
what
was
it was
supposed to
gonna
be.
be.
Yeah, what it was
Yeah.
going to be. She knows. My editing team knows, but no one else knows. And so what I wanted it to be was all of our videos dubbed in Hindi, in Telugu, in Tamil, and whatever. Because it's like I knew that it would inundate Sinatesi if I did that there as well.
Yeah.
So like Sinatesi would just be us normal English, and then Cinedosed was going to be all the other languages.
Doing the Mr. Beast thing.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
effectively.
Awesome.
But I invested a lot of money into this AI company, and it went nowhere because like they they like gave us back our videos, and our editors looked at it and they're like, if you put this out, your audience is going to hate you.
Oh.
And we tried many times for months on end.
Like, in theory, it was really cool
I love
because
it just when you're explaining it.
Yeah.
they cloned our voices, and so it was like, oh wow, we're speaking Hindi now.
So it wasn't just doing subs.
That's pretty cool.
It was, we're going to take your voices and actually get you to be
Yeah.
speaking in the languages. that-
Yes, it
I
was.
love
it was
that.
like
Conceptually, it's
fully
awesome, right?
Conceptually,
Yeah.
brilliant. In practice, our editors would go through the video and be like, "Yeah, that didn't translate that properly," and like,
it was too high.
The
It was
language,
too-
or
yeah.
like they were using like really
Highfalutin
like
language.
highbrow language
Yeah.
to
Right.
convey very
Simple
colloquial
Yeah.
Right.
speech patterns and like
Right.
some things that didn't know how to do and all of that, and so it just came out weird.
Yeah.
And it was taking them like so much longer just to try to make it work.
It would have been faster if we dubbed it with actors.
Yeah.
So
No joke.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And we
we were
considered
like,
that as
oh.
well. We considered dubbing our videos with actors, but we haven't taken that
I'm
approach.
sorry, that
yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
We
It
spent,
is a great
I spent
idea.
a lot of hard-earned money on that, and it didn't go anywhere.
Maybe in a few years.
maybe in a few years.
when
Or-
AI sorted
Yeah,
itself out.
YouTube will figure it out where it's just automated.
It
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, but like that AI thing that we paid for was like swapping our voices sometimes, or it would confuse our voice with the video we're reacting to.
Oy vey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would just became a mess.
Really bad.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bad. So it just wasn't worth.
Did they just stop doing, or did you have to like, I'm not investing anymore?
I had an initial upfront investment, and they wanted a monthly thing after that, and I was like, "Bruh, this is not even working right."
No.
Like,
Right, because you could, if it was working, you could have just had them in perpetuity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep doing your videos.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so it didn't pan out. Cinedos is just sitting there like dormant, and I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. but I have the name.
I
so.
think it's just a matter of time that the technology will get to the place
Yeah.
where it'll work for you.
Probably.
And by that point, it won't even matter that Cinedost exists because it'll just be an option like subtitles.
Right.
You know, like automated subtitles. You can.
It should be.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
That's something that it's like at the very least, we'll watch some things, and we know enough now, especially of Hindi, where we're like, that's not the word.
Yeah.
That's not even close.
Is there any more water?
Yes.
And-
She has one.
How an existing film, like say Gangs of Wasseypur, how you can't take that and just run it through AI and let's get an actual translation of subs in whatever language you need it,
Yeah. Yeah.
boggles my mind.
That'll come soon enough. I mean,
Eventually.
there's actually a rollout slowly right now that they're testing of AI language dubs. Like certain channels have it. I don't know how YouTube picks. Like,
Right.
they'll just pick random users, random creators.
We
to
have
do
it.
it.
And use it as a test run.
We have it.
Yeah. And, yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We do not.
Yeah.
We might. Strategy has it. We don't.
Yeah, strategy has it. No, like one thing that I got really excited about was this feature where, like, because I watched stuff in speed mode, and so typically in the past when I would hit speed mode, it would show me like 1 times speed, 1.25, 1.5, and 2 times, and that's it. And those are your options. And then one day, YouTube showed me something where I had the what do you call it? The gradient, the full gradient, all the way up to 2. So everything from 1.0 all the way to 2 times, I could pick whatever speed I wanted.
1.3 is great.
Yeah, 1.3. Exactly. You can pick whatever you want. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, and I got so excited to call her out of the editing room. And I'm like, you gotta look at this. This is amazing. and she's like, what? And I showed her. I'm like, look how crazy this is that you can actually dial it in. And eventually they rolled it out to everybody, but I was one of the first people that YouTube picked to test that out.
Hey,
So it's just like,
great.
it's interesting how YouTube kind of does that and just kind
Yeah.
of sees how people respond to it.
Yeah.
Well, probably because they know that you're a constant fast mode
Yeah.
viewer.
And now they have even higher, up to like 4 times. It's crazy.
Wow.
But that was like, they had a hard limit of 2 times for the longest time. And now they're,
What speed do you listen to audiobooks at?
I don't listen to audiobooks.
He doesn't listen to
Yeah.
audiobooks.
You?
I was going through them at 1.3, but then now I've just gone back to 1 because I like to hear like the nuance of the narrator and everything. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I watched Narcos at 1.7 speed.
You watched
Wow.
Yeah. It was season 2. Season 1, I watched at regular speed.
Yeah.
But season 2, it was a weird experience where my best friend, who's known as Sintel online, he's like, Narcos season 2 is great. You got to watch it. And he told me that after I gave up on the show. And so I was like, okay, let me give this another
I
shot.
didn't get through season 2. I loved season 1.
Yeah.
Stopped in the middle of season 2.
So I watched it at 1.7, and it was riveting.
Much better.
It was amazing.
So fast
I do
paced.
that with, I actually do that with my mom's messenger messages. She sends me voice messages sometimes.
Yeah.
I listen. It only goes up to 2, but I always listen to mom at 2.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I
like-
got to.
I know there's subscribers that listen to videos at whatever
Sure.
speed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're listening to and how familiar you are with it. I think,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
and also because some people, some people speak so slowly, and
Yeah.
I'm just
I
like,
listen
pick
to
it up.
I listen to audiobooks at 1.75 to 2.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
I
Do you absorb it?
yes.
Okay, perfect.
Everything else is too slow.
Yeah.
Like if I took my books I'm reading right now and put it at 1, it sounds like they're speaking it with molasses.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's terrible.
Yeah, when you get acclimated to fast
yeah,
speaking, it's
that's
weird.
true.
I think it's an ADHD thing.
Yeah.
now, so
No, and then you
I-
try to speed up people in real life, and it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah,
get
come on,
to it.
get spit it out, spit it
Yeah.
out.
I need to know because we've never talked about this because we've never actually had a chat. Who are your favorite actors in Bollywood and in Indian cinema?
Anywhere in India.
Oh my god.
Not just
like
people.
my,
Not just people you've interviewed. Who are you like your favorite actors?
Yeah, the artists that are your most favorite
Who are your
artists.
favorite? Both of you.
I think off the top of my head, Vicky Kaushal is definitely
Yes.
one of
Yes.
them. But these are people. These
Vicky.
are these are 2 people I've interviewed or at least spoken to. Vicky Kaushal's one. Amir Khan is one,
Of course.
And then Alia Bhatt's like the actress my brain always goes to.
Yes.
And so those are the 3 that come to mind
Yes.
immediately.
Yes.
And I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying no one from any other industry other than Bollywood. But what about you?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
same.
Oh, we love all 3 of those.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
I like,
I like Fafa as well.
yes.
Fahad Fasil.
Yeah, Fahad Fasil's great. I like Nani.
This guy right here.
Nani's great. Oh yeah,
this guy
Fahad
like
Fasil.
Fahad-
I'll go and hear
Na-
yours.
yeah, Nani gets me excited as well.
Yeah, Nani. Anytime I see something of his, I'm like, ooh, that's great. Who else? I feel like you've already said a lot of the people.
Vicky Kaushal just a chameleon.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vicky
he is.
Kaushal's great.
Yeah.
Like, I
He's-
really, really love him.
Have you interviewed Vicky?
Right when he's becoming famous, I interviewed him for
Like
Uri.
Uri?
Yeah.
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 You or I?
Yeah.
You're
I went. We went to go see it in Simi Valley.
This is the first year of the channel.
I walk up. I was like, "Yeah, we need a ticket for URI." She said, "You meet Uri?" I said, "No, URI."
No, it was hilarious because the Indians will very politely correct you on your mispronunciations, right? And so I was like, Yuri. So we're going to talk
Right,
about Yuri,
Yuri.
today. And
Yuri.
Vicky Kaushal is like, no, Yuri, Jaby.
Yuri.
Jaby.
Jaby.
Yuri.
JB.
Is it Uri?
Uri.
Yeah.
Uri. Sorry, I was
Uri, JB.
focused on the JB part.
Yeah.
Because everyone calls me JB, and I'm like, that's not how you. It's fine, whatever. You know, I used to say Salman Khan.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, we did too.
Oh,
a
we
salmon
butchered
con.
a lot of names for a long time. We probably still are butchering some names.
It's quite famous on the channel. I Corbinize is
Oh
basically.
yeah, it's
Corbinize.
always hashtag Corbinization.
I'm just
Titles and names of people.
I'm dyslexic, so it's even worse just seeing a foreign name.
Kajal was
front
Cajole
of me.
for a lot of years.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments call me baby as well.
Oh,
Baby?
it's just
Autocorrect.
because it's
Yeah,
autocorrect.
it's
Yeah.
autocorrect.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
Baby Kawhi.
Oh,
Baby
that makes
Kawhi.
What was that? You put a video out. It was a long time ago. Was something about Zakir. What was it?
Oh my God. What were we
Oh.
talking about? Zakir Khan?
I think I know what
No,
it is.
Zakir Hussain.
Ustaji is Zakir Hussain.
What did people get
Is
mad?
it- he's the
at you
music
for?
guy?
I know exactly what it
What
is.
did people get mad at you for?
He's the music person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Top player.
So I was having fun being me
Yeah.
during a reaction of him doing his performance.
I remember people being mad at you.
I was just like, he was doing his performance, and I was like, kind of just joking with this girl who was co-hosting with me on that video. And at the time, I had a crush on her, which is public information, so I don't care about putting that out there. But like, so I was just kind of flirting back and forth while Jennifer Sun Bell was also in the video with us, and I think she
You
was
know
taking
Jennifer
it
Sun
seriously.
Bell?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a good friend. Achara was just on her channel. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
so Jennifer Sun Bell was locked in on the
How do you
video,
know
right?
Jennifer Sun Bell.
Well, we've known each other for
Not
like
you.
20 years.
This guy.
This
on the Way.
church. So,
Church on the Way. We were on the worship team together.
Okay, that makes sense.
so Jennifer's locked in on the video, right? And me and what's her name again?
Which one? You have a crush on so many.
Jackie Zender.
Okay.
Jackie Zender and I are like being playful with each other, right? And that playfulness is what pissed off the audience, and that was one component of it. And the other component, because I was like making sexual innuendo jokes about his hands moving really fast, and so
Okay, I didn't know that
get
part.
It. I
Yeah.
get it now. Okay.
and so the other component was I was confused why people weren't like having more fun in response to his performance. I'm like, how can you not be out
Yeah.
of your seat cheering
Hell yeah.
at this crazy like hand movement and whatnot with the music? And people thought I was being highly disrespectful. And it was one of the few
Okay.
instances I genuinely apologized because I was like, okay, let me look at it. Let me take my ego out of it and look at it from the audience's perspective and go, okay, I can see why they're upset
Okay.
from their perspective. In my defense, in the moment, I was genuinely being me.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, I was just
were just
genuinely
being
having.
you.
I was having a good time with the music.
Yeah.
In fairness to like the video, like I was having a really good time, but the audience didn't like the way I was having a good time. You know.
They thought it was disrespectful
Yes.
to Ustaji.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has the audience ever been mad when you did food videos and you sniffed food?
No.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh my word. Well, maybe you don't sniff food like we do.
Like when you're about to eat,
You go to
eat
we
some
get a
food and
beautiful
you're like,
thing,
it smells
and you
so
take it in
delicious.
because smelling is part of the experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh,
they
the
hate
amount
it.
of the two things that we got with the early food videos were, don't smell your food,
What?
Yeah,
and
it's
don't
weird.
eat naan with rice. You son of a.
Oh,
They did not like the naan and rice together.
she got in trouble for we made a video called a pulao cooking video or something.
Oh no, it
you
was
pulled out what?
no, it was a brand deal. So this is some info that
Okay.
no one knows.
Hell yeah! Breaking news.
So they gave us, it was for a spices company, right? And
Right.
so they gave us a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And
Dothraka?
yeah,
Dothraka? Yeah.
I think so. And then there was a list of recipes that we could choose. And,
Sure.
and then biryani was one of them. And I was like, oh my God, I've always
biryani,
wanted to
that's
make a biryani. I was like, sweet. Jaby's gonna love it. I'm gonna make a chicken biryani. It's gonna be great. And then heard back from our rep, like, so biryani's fine, but you know, they don't want to alienate the vegetarians. So here's a veg biryani recipe.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, Jaby's gonna hate this because like Jaby's all about the protein, but fine, we'll do it to keep the client happy.
Yeah.
So we do it, put the video out, and then everyone's like, if it's got veg, it's not a biryani, it's a pulao.
Yep, you can't please
You
everybody.
can't, no, that is not a biryani. That's wrong. That's so wrong. I was like, whatever, it was delicious.
Whatever.
Have you guys made an apology video ever?
No,
Not once.
I don't believe so.
My favorite one. Of
I
my
thought you
favorite,
were going to say, I don't believe in apologies.
No,
I really wouldn't ever
I know
do it.
I
wouldn't.
I have gone back when
What do
I've
you
had
think?
stupid babies say, "No, Rick, I can't believe you didn't like that," and I knew they were right because at the time there was the "You Are My Sonia." I was in a really bad headspace the day that was happening. I was going through stuff with my dad.
He's talking about the song "You Are My Sonia" from the film K3G.
Yeah, okay,
He had a bad reaction to it.
I thought it was stupid, and I just was really in a pissed headspace.
That's a classic movie. You have a. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
So
Yeah.
I really accepted the fact that I was in a poor headspace and rewatched it and apologized in the reaction, said, it's actually good, guys. You're right. I'm so sorry I wasn't. And I also did that with Ranbir and Barfi.
That's
Because
right.
when I first saw Barfi, Ranbir annoyed me. And then I rewatched it and said, I was wrong. I must have been in a weird
Okay,
headspace
so that's
that day.
two times.
It would have had to been
but
something really.
It would have to be something really
I
big.
Said that I was like, I didn't mean to say that. For me to ever even consider it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite videos that I've ever made was an apology video.
To what?
quote unquote
To what?
apology video.
Uh-oh.
Drink more than
Yeah.
you.
Spill the tea.
So there's a Salman Khan movie
Oh
called
shoot! It was Salman Khan.
Salman Khan movie called Bharat.
Oh,
Bharat.
that was so funny.
Yeah,
You watched it?
Bharat, right? And
Okay.
so I was saying Bharat. I'm like, what a great name, Bharat. I was like, and so people came at me in the comments.
Making fun of the name.
And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to
no.
issue an apology. And the apology video was me just saying Bharat for like 3 minutes straight.
That is something Corbin
yeah,
would do.
yeah. And it was like,
To music
to music.
with fun editing.
And I put in like a Street Fighter 2 the video game in there with Dalsim and Ryu.
That is
And so
legendary, Jaby.
I put my face on top of Ryu's body, and he's getting his ass kicked by Dalsim.
I'm sure they love
and,
that.
And in the names, instead of Dalsim, it says India. And it says Jaby, and so India's kicking Jaby's ass, like the language. And I was like, see, look, I'm having fun with myself. And so
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good apology video.
yeah,
I love
that's
that.
that's one of my favorite videos because I spent a lot of time on it. But the beginning is so epic. It's like orchestral music with all the negative comments about the way I said Bharat.
That's fantastic.
It's like the level of, I want to say, pettiness
Yeah.
that Jaby will go to sometimes. If like I just remember going, what are you doing? You know? And sometimes it's not even pettiness. Like sometimes even weird things in a reaction. Like back when he was doing more of the editing. What was it? It was for Sat Kun Maaf or something. There was like
Seven Kunmaf.
Yes. Yes, it's Sat.
Oh, Sat Kun Maaf. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I was trying to think of what movie that was. Yeah. Son Kumaf. I know that sounds familiar.
But he did this whole gag where he put something in the TV. I think it was about like me nearly killing my ex or something like that.
Oh.
And he like made a thing where he put something in the TV, but like it took him 5 hours.
Oh, you're mixing up two different things.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
All she knows is
Yeah.
It
you
took 5 hours.
Yeah, no,
it
she-
it
yeah,
took 5 hours
So-
to make this gag.
Right.
So one of
But that's the type of thing he'll
Yeah.
do. He'll just like, I'm into it now.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
One of
woman.
them was with Nidhi Singh, for some reason. I don't know why. Nidhi Singh of TVF.
Yeah.
There was some gag there with Seven Kunmaf, Or step them up. And there was one where she's got this.
7.
I have a tendency to be very hyperbolic with my stories because
Do not believe 90% of the things he
no,
says.
it's like Big Fish, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad would always like take fact and embellish,
Right.
And I
You
learned
just
that
verbose
from him.
and big.
Because like what I've learned is people don't care about the actual story; they care about being entertained. That's what they care about at the end of the day.
Yep.
And so she would have this version of her story where she almost shot her ex. And I took that and I made this whole like thing where he actually did get shot. They had a whole thing where she almost got deported and there's an ambulance. and
No, yeah, because the real story was he took me to a shooting range, and it was a thing that a lot of people do where I was holding the gun, and then I turned around to talk to him
And pointed it at him.
And
You
then
bet.
he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!
Right,
Put that
yeah.
away!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
Yeah, but
sorry.
I'm like, that's boring. I'm like, you need to add something like salacious in there, like a dinosaur walked into the
Yeah,
room with a
you still
machine gun.
need
Like something has to
dinosaurs,
happen.
guns, and lesbians
Yeah,
are
something.
great.
Yeah,
A lesbian dinosaur with a gun.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
like something
That's
exciting.
America.
Yeah.
That's America.
I forgot which book it is. There's like a writer's book that says if you ever get stuck where you find yourself with writer's block, just say 2 men with guns walk into the room and figure it out. And like that's a great way to
Yeah.
like just get it exciting.
Get it exciting
again.
and move on.
And I'm like, you need something with a punch. And what Achara does is she'll hit the crescendo, and then it's like Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, where it's like this long ending to get out of the story. I'm like, Achara, it ended like 40 minutes ago. Why are you still talking? So, yeah. So I'll always take her stories and embellish it.
Yeah.
I often will say that her mom doesn't know how to say her name and says Achara, even though her mom's the one that gave her name. So.
Like, that's so dumb. My name is Ty. Of course she would know how to say my name. Out of everyone in my family, she
But I
would know
gotta
how
say,
to say
that's
my
pretty
name.
entertaining to think that your mom doesn't know how to pronounce your own name.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
quite an
Yeah.
interesting
He wrote
story.
a whole bit for me.
Yeah, a stand-up bit.
A stand-up bit. And I was like, Jaby, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Because it's not true.
Yeah.
What was that Mad TV character? The
Coffee guy? No.
Was it Miss
Mrs.
Miss
Swan?
Miss Swan? I don't know what she was.
She was like,
Is she Chinese or
I-
was she?
She was
It's
Chinese,
like-
I think.
She's Chinese.
something about like it's he was it? I forgot.
I don't know
remember
what
being-
you said. That's not like Ty. But no, there was
remember
the-
being
My
so
friends,
funny and
we
so
loved
offensive.
her. We
Yeah.
loved her.
no, there was 3 people. There was her that I remember. There was her. There was the that's so cute, or that lady who's like what would be a Karen, I guess. The last episode I remember of her was she was like going to a yard sale and she was looking at these colored tacks. And she just couldn't decide whether or not to buy it. She's like, it's so cute. It's so
so
cute.
cute.
And she's like haggling this person, and she just couldn't make up her mind of whether or not to purchase it.
When I was a kid, people just used to say I look like the Mad TV
You do.
from the
magazine.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
Red hair with like
Yeah,
buck
yeah.
teeth. That who's always on the cover.
I hated it.
Do you have buck teeth?
No, I just have a gap in my teeth.
Okay.
He's a gap, and that guy had a
Like
buck
Arnold
tooth and gap.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
What?
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He's a gap?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
and like you,
I don't watch his movies.
and like you, he's got
Been
lots of.
around a while. You've seen his face.
He's terrible.
But you've seen his face.
No.
I will fight
We
all
have
of
a-
you.
No,
No.
he's
I know-
great.
Do you know about our $100 bets that
One
we've
of
done
the
before?
worst actors of all
actors?
time.
Who, Arnold?
Arnold!
No.
Depends on the film.
No.
It's a known
No.
fact.
Have
No.
you seen
No.
Kindergarten
He's-
Cop and Twins?
Twins.
Look, just because he's fun in Terminator
Come
doesn't
on.
make him a good actor.
Did you see
No,
Twins?
Twins. He's
No,
great
actually,
in
I've
Twins.
never
There
seen
you
it.
go.
I've never seen it.
Well,
He's
there you go.
so good
maybe
in Twins.
I will watch Twins and we will reconvene.
There you go.
He's got a lot of great movies, actually.
does.
That doesn't
Thank
mean
you,
he's
I
a
agree.
good actor.
Yeah. No, but he's like, speaking of AI and deep fakes, every other Instagram reel I swipe through now is him like replacing someone from a movie.
See those-
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are the last one I saw was Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and it's like when they're all quarreling with the ring in the center.
yeah.
And there's like la. Everyone's making that same sound.
We currently have a $100 bet that Dwayne the Rock Johnson will get nominated for an Oscar.
Well, this stems
This
from
year?
Yeah,
This
this
year.
stems from our
I
first
say no.
Oscar bet for $100. They had released the photo of Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, just the photo.
Uh-huh.
And he said he's already got the Oscar. I said you can't do that from a photo. He says he's won it. You want to bet? So I said yeah, $100. Done. Oscars. Oldman wins the Oscar. I gave him $100.
That's Gary Oldman though.
Gary
It's Gary
Oldman!
Oldman. It's Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
on the right side of
so,
both of these arguments. by
I
the way.
said this year because he doesn't like Dwayne and I like Dwayne.
Okay.
I'm a fan. I believe in Dwayne. I
Sure.
think Dwayne has the potential to do some things if he applies himself, because that's all he's ever done in his life is apply himself
To money.
Try to be the sharpest, knife in the drawer and push himself. And I've seen him do enough stuff in Ballers where I thought, if you had the right training and you work, I believe in you. So this new film he's done about this MMA fighter,
Okay.
the initial buzz on the street right now, Variety picked him to be nominated.
Wow.
At the Oscars. And there's been a lot of buzz about the fact that his next film is going to be with Scorsese and DiCaprio.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
Emily
That's
Blunt.
true.
It's going to be a crime drama in Hawaii.
Whoa.
So I just randomly said I'm confident and I'm believing and I'm hoping it will be such a just thing if Dwayne gets nominated
And-
for an Oscar. So we bet it $100 on him.
And I've seen the Tooth Fairy, so
I actually like the Tooth Fairy.
I haven't seen that
does
one
it
actually.
deserve an Oscar?
No,
Okay.
neither does Home Alone, but I love Home Alone.
Incorrect. Home Alone does deserve an Oscar.
No.
Home Alone 2 actually
Home Alone 2. I don't.
is better.
I'm just thinking about Hawaii movies now.
Hawaii movies?
Yeah, because you said Hawaii, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a Hawaii crime drama.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
There's not that many films that are popular that are based in Hawaii. There's there's The Descendants with George Clooney.
Right?
Lilo and Stitch had the animation. They got the live action
And obviously
coming out.
Moana has done great.
And Moana. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a surf movie. Do you know it?
Which one?
It's
Surf's Up?
Blue
Crush.
Blue Crush.
That's in Hawaii.
Yes. I know because I had a major crush on all the girls in it when I was a teenager.
That's one of the first films where they replaced an actress's face on top of the stunt girl.
What did they
Really?
do?
When she was surfing under the wave. It was a
And it's
stunt.
one of the
it
first
was-
times they did
yeah,
that?
Yeah, it was a stunt surfer.
Why
and
do you
they-
know that, Jeb?
I don't know why.
Speaking of stunts, do you think the Oscars should have a category for stunt work?
Of course.
100%.
Thank
Yes, they should. I mean,
How can we get them to do this?
Yeah, Jaby.
I just wonder how you would rate it, like how you would vote for that.
Well, the SAGs do it.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
Yeah. SAG's been doing it for
Well, I
years.
know
Are
that-
there not stunt awards?
There's a stunt
There's a
award season called the
Taurus.
Taurus Awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've been to that, and that was, yeah. I mean, they should do it. It's
Yeah,
it's long
do
overdue.
it. You do it the way you do every other category at the Oscars. It's the stunt people who vote on it.
Oh, okay. Is that how that works?
Yeah, because at the Oscars, so everybody gets Best Picture.
Okay.
But the actors vote for the acting, the directors vote for the directing, cinematographers vote for the cinematography, wardrobe vote for the wardrobe.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
the discipline is specific.
Who votes for the background actors?
Exactly. They're adding. So they've next Oscars they're adding casting. They're
Okay.
Gonna, they're going to go an Oscar for casting.
But like, come on.
Come on. I mean, the stunt people are the only.
Well, they're going to give
discipline-
Dwayne an Oscar.
It seems like it's the only discipline that doesn't get included.
Yeah, it's unfair.
With notoriety that it deserves.
Well,
'cause
what do
they're-
they even do?
Says the guy who loves all the violence.
Well, yeah, I worry about the stunt industry as a whole because of AI.
Yeah.
And because of
They could just have a stunt AI do it.
well, not just AI but robots.
Right.
Like every time I see a Boston Mechanics
Dynamics, yeah.
Boston Dynamics
Yeah.
video, I'm like, oh, it's the end of the world. That's what this is right here. Like every time I see a Boston Dynamics video, I get depressed.
One just came
Yeah.
out and it was pretty awesome.
It was amazing, and I see that and I go, okay, so I had this like epiphany when a friend sent that to me once, and they sent it to me as a fun thing, and I wrote them back this long text about the end of the world. Right? And I was like, I feel like the end of the world is automation.
Yeah.
It's just like where we are so complacent.
Yes.
We don't have we're not incentivized or to do anything anymore. We don't have any more ambition or inspiration.
It's
We-
Wall-E, right?
It's Wall-E.
It
It's
is,
literally
yeah,
just
it's
Wall-E.
Wall-E.
And we have no reason to do anything. And so robots, like if whatever mess is made is usually a robot cleaning it up, like in
Right.
Wall-E, right?
Right.
And so I've lost my train of thought. All I know is robots are going to be taking care of robots.
Did you see? There's an Instagram reel I saw recently that specifically is two guys talking to each other on a podcast, and he said that he had put into ChatGPT the question, "Do you and all of AI intend to take over the world?" And it gave a response. He said, "What would you do to take over the world?" He was specifically asking ChatGPT.
you got to be specific, yeah.
And it gave him 4 bullet points, and it said, "Well, I would begin by becoming necessary,
Okay.
and then I would begin by being everywhere." And then the next step that I would do is I would slowly become so inseparable from what you do that I wouldn't need to take over. You've just let me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, that's already happening.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it ended with the fact of the matter is I don't want to, but you just made it easy to do it and asked me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. That's a fact right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the villain in the last Mission
it's
Impossible.
not a fact, Jaby.
It
I just
so
need you
is.
to know
No,
that.
it's
I
so
just need you to know that.
is.
Yeah, and that's why the villain in the last Mission Impossible film was a screensaver. Like the back. You got that. You didn't see the last Mission Impossible film?
Let's talk about him and Tom Cruise, shall we, Corbin?
You didn't see the last Mission Impossible film?
He's seen one.
I've seen one Mission Impossible.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of Scientology, but I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan.
Come on, Jaby.
I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan.
I am at opening day for every Mission Impossible with my kids. Have been since film one. We love the Mission Impossible
I am
franchise.
someone who has been to the Celebrity Center, and I'm a huge fan of Tom Cruise. Like, I have lived to tell the tales.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Here we go, Corbin.
One, he's a terrible person. But two,
He's what? Why is he a terrible person?
He gives
that's
people
his exes.
cake.
Anyways, two, more importantly, well, not more importantly, but more importantly for me, because I'm an audience member, he's not a good actor. Wow. He's really not. He's the
it's-
same in
Thank
everything.
you.
He's the same in everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you not
except-
seen Tropic Thunder?
That's the only thing I was going to say.
Have you seen Born on the
That's
4th of July?
my favorite performance of Tom Cruise.
So here's the thing: there are some actors who excel at playing themselves, and I don't mind that at all. Will Smith is one of those people. Tom Cruise is one of those people.
Jack Nicholson's one of those
Jack
people.
Nicholson is one of those people who are just really good
Yep.
at playing variations of themselves.
And
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And for a lot of actors, that's not an easy thing to do.
Exactly that.
But here's the
It's
thing.
true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing
Yeah.
I will say to that, because Jeff Goldblum is one of those people.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
Some people are more interesting than others.
Okay.
That's
Jeff
also
Goldblum
true.
being one of them. It's very. He only ever plays Jeff Goldblum.
There are two lines that we said as Americans for the longest time.
Okay.
Show me the money and tell me the truth. Like, those two lines are from him.
Yeah.
Tom
Who?
Cruise.
Well, from what?
Few good
Show
men.
me the
money.
money.
And show me the money
Jerry
is from
Maguire.
Jerry
Jerry
Maguire.
Oh, okay. I saw
Like-
that when I was like,
And you
8.
can't handle the truth is the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah,
sequence.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm.
He's part of
tracking.
so many iconic things.
I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's a bad actor.
No, I
He's
think
not a
no,
bad
I don't think
I
he's,
don't. I saw
But
the,
okay.
the new Maverick. Not good.
It was amazing.
No,
Are you kidding me?
Maverick
You
was
can't-
spectacular.
No, I'm saying him.
He was great.
He was
He was
awesome.
great.
Yes, he was. He's too smiley.
No, okay.
smiling.
He
Miley.
Hold on a
smiles,
second.
he
Miles.
smiles and he runs. Those are the two things that
Yes.
make him work.
Now you're going to
Yeah.
complain about his running in Mission Impossible because I watch Mission
Everyone
Impossible
complains about
to
his
watch
running.
him do the run.
Okay, he's not. Okay, I haven't seen The Whale, so I can't say Brendan Fraser. But Brendan Fraser is terrible as an actor, until The Whale. I'm sure he was good in The Whale.
I thought he was
I-
pretty good in Crash and in The Whale.
And Encino Man.
So what's wrong with, for example, just a small snippet of Tom doing a scene? What's wrong with the opening of MI3 when he's working with Philip
haven't
Seymour
seen
Hoffman?
MI3.
It's him and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and they're talking about Where's the White Rabbit.
I don't remember anything about
You'd
that.
not call Tom a bad actor if you saw that scene.
I didn't call Philip Seymour Hoffman a bad actor. That's what I will
but
tell you.
it's him and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Do you think I was watching anybody else other than Philip Seymour Hoffman on the screen? That
we can have this argument all day
I think-
long.
That
wait,
is one of the
I
most
just-
underrated
Achara.
actors of
Get
all
him.
time.
No, I just have to I don't think it's fair to call Tom Cruise a bad actor.
Okay.
Because if that's your barometer of bad, there are so many people that are so
Worse.
much
So worse.
worse.
I agree with you.
And I would say those guys
I agree
are
with you.
bad actors. And perhaps at worst, Tom Cruise is like an okay actor.
Middling.
At worst.
I feel like Tom Cruise.
but
is,
I think he's actually a good actor.
You would call him a good actor?
okay. Instead of
Like-
calling him a good actor, I would say he has a massive amount of charisma.
Yeah.
Just an insane amount of charisma.
Okay.
Yeah, like you take him all the way back to his unibrow with for the what's the game of the Martin Scorsese film with Pool.
For the love of money.
No, color of money.
Color of Money.
The Color of Money.
Yep.
Like he was amazing in that, and that's when he had a unibrow. And
Yeah.
so, when Top Gun came out, everybody was calling themselves Maverick.
The gayest straight film I've ever seen in my life.
100%.
Sure.
Gun.
100%.
It's
But-
so good.
Yeah, but like Maverick was definitely a thing that everyone called themselves after that film came out.
Yeah.
Goose.
No.
People call themselves Goose.
Why would you do that?
Yeah,
Goose
why would you call
died.
yourself Goose? I'd rather be Maverick than Goose.
Yeah,
Why?
exactly.
Why? Did you see Top Gun? How does that end for Goose?
And also, like, Tom Cruise is the closest we will get to a modern day Jackie Chan. Like, honestly. And he's what, 60
He's
years
60
old?
now.
He's 60. He's the closest we have to Jackie
Oh, I
Chan.
meant to ask. I know you're a big fan of Jackie Chan. I've never seen a Chinese film of Jackie Chan's. What should I?
What?
No, I've only ever seen the Hollywood stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
what
I'm in the
should we-
same boat.
What should we start with?
There's
What
a
should
whole
we start with?
library. Oh my God.
I know he's done mostly Chinese stuff.
I would say start with Police Story 1.
Police Story 1. Okay.
Yeah, and then go to Police Story 3.
Okay.
Those are the two films I would recommend as a starting point.
Okay.
Just because that's a very famous franchise.
Police Story.
Yeah, the Police Story franchise is very famous. There's a Police Story 4, but when they brought it to America, they called it First Strike. Jackie Chan's First Strike. They literally call him Jackie Chan in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
For the American dub.
So
For the American dub.
2 is just bad?
But 2's okay.
Oh.
It's not great.
That's how I felt
Okay.
about MI2.
Do you think his better stuff is Chinese or Hollywood?
Absolutely.
Chinese?
Chinese, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Gotcha.
I've seen stunt sequences from
Better
his
than
Chinese
Shanghai
stuff.
Noon
I've been
and
blown
Shanghai
away.
Nights?
So it depends what you're
Those
after.
are cinema, baby.
It depends what you're after. If you're after the comedy of his dynamic with someone who's American,
Rush Hour.
You're not gonna
Yes,
be able
of
to beat
course.
Rush Hour or Shanghai Noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his dynamic with someone who doesn't speak his language is amazing, right?
So great.
Yes.
But if you're looking at stunts and fight choreography, his stuff from
That's what I want.
Gotcha.
Hong Kong is amazing.
That's what
Yes.
I want.
So my brother got me this box set of kung fu films, and one of them is called Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, I think, or that's not the one I'm thinking of. Fearless Hyena. If you want a classic kung fu cinema film from Jackie Chan, Fearless Hyena is the one that you should
Fearless
watch.
Hyena.
Yeah, there's this fight
Okay.
scene at the end that's like 15 minutes long, and you watch it, and it's like long takes, unlike today, and you see all the crazy dynamic movement that's going on with the balletic dance sequence as they're almost killing each other.
Right.
And you can see the sun going over the course of the fight scene because it's all low budget fight scenes, and
Right.
it's amazing to watch. So Fearless Hyena,
Okay.
Police Story,
And the Police Story 1 and 3.
yeah, Police Story 1 and
Awesome.
3.
I'm writing these down.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I remember.
Because I know the audience is going to want us to talk about some Indian stuff here. What's your hottest take for Indian cinema?
My hottest, oh my god.
It could be just a take that you have on the channel that your audience knows that we don't know.
I guess my hottest take that my audience has called me out for is when I spot dramatic tonal shifts. Like, and I grew up with Asian cinema.
Right.
But like, there are some tonal shifts that throw me where I'm like, yo, this is
Yeah.
like two completely different movies. I had that with R. Madhavan and who's the big guy who does fight scenes funny.
What?
But he doesn't do fight scenes very well, but he's a great actor. He was in 96.
Oh, yeah,
Vijay.
Vijay Sethupathi.
Vijay Sethupathi, right?
Yeah.
So R. Madhavan and Vijay Sethupathi did a film together that Hrithik remade.
Oh,
Vikram.
yes.
Vikram.
You're thinking of Vikram.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vikram.
Vikram Veda.
Vikram Veda.
Vikram Veda.
I love the movie. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the beginning is fucking weird. Okay, it's such a weird beginning.
The Tamil or the Hindi?
The
Or
original.
both?
The original.
The original.
I didn't see the new one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So in the original, you start off this sequence where I think it's R. Madhavan is a cop, right? And he like murders this bad guy in cold blood.
Right.
Which as an American is just weird.
Right.
And then the next scene is him with his woman, and it's like very sweet music. I'm like,
Big
what-
tonal shift.
What is
Bro,
happening?
he just
in this
murdered
movie?
somebody. He's got to make love to his wife, okay?
But it's like the tone. It's like I just watched a bad guy, and now it's very sweet, like I'm watching a romance film. Like, and it's a masala moment that takes
Right.
me a moment to adjust. That's my biggest hot take.
Yeah.
And so like even 9 years into watching Indian films, when I
Yep.
spot a tonal difference like
You
that, it messes with my head.
Me too.
It is a difference, yeah, for sure.
I become more accepting of those things because I know it matters to them.
Right.
In the same way, I've been more accepting of. I didn't even know the framework of storytelling in film could be anything other than. It's got to be storytelling, and we're going to need to have a conflict, a climax, and a resolution and a moral to the story. And then I found out, particularly from Bengali cinema, we're just going to give you an emotion.
Yeah.
That was a lot for me to wrap my head around and become more accepting of. I become way more accepting of that, as well as that. When we first started, that was I'm out.
So there's another thing that bothers me, which is when you effectively mentally fridge a woman in a movie, where it's like there's this strong emphasis on this relationship for the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And then she just
then she's gone.
disappears.
She's gone.
And I'm like, what the hell? Why did we spend all that time
Yeah.
on this lady who
Yeah.
doesn't like bring her back or something? Like,
Like, what was the point of that?
yeah. And it's like, what is this for? I don't understand. It's just to fill in this 3-hour runtime.
So we have an interval.
And so we have it like I am less offended by an item number than I am by that. Like item numbers, I can handle.
Sure.
That's fine.
Right.
I'm a man, but like that is weird. It's just so strange to like have this romantic thing that just goes away. I forgot what the last film is that I saw that did that, but it just always bugs me every time I see that.
We just had that recently with a film where there was a character that it ends and the film ends and you're thinking to yourself, we didn't even need that
right.
in the story. What was the point of that?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would have been a 2-hour 20-minute rather than a 2-hour 45.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think there is that effort to always hit your 3 hour or close to it.
They love those 3
They've
hours.
got to
Yeah.
have the interval.
Well, it has to. You know why it's 3 hours? I mean, it's just because like that's an event,
Right.
You know, you're paying for your kids and the popcorn or whatever is there. I haven't been to an Indian movie theater. You guys have, right?
Yeah.
I
I've
don't-
seen a movie in India.
I have not. Twice I've been there. 3 times I've been there and I haven't.
I've
So
seen a
what's
couple. I've seen a couple films in India.
so what's it like?
Well, the first thing that was very
I've
strange.
not.
The first thing that was well, you did, but it was at the premiere. It wasn't like a standard walk into the movie,
Yeah.
see the movie. We got the premiere thing. But when I saw 1917 with Indrani in
Okay.
Calcutta,
Not an Indian movie.
not an Indian movie, but it was an Indian movie experience. They built an interval into it,
Okay.
and the national anthem before the movie. It's just like a baseball game here.
Oh, we have that too in Thailand.
Do ya?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
not the national anthem.
You stand?
but
You
we do
stand.
the royal anthem.
Yep, everybody stands and
So-
sings. They
I-
sing the national anthem.
So-
You should have kneeled.
Yeah.
I went to a film with her in Thailand. I forgot what film it was.
I can't remember.
But they played the King's anthem,
Yeah, it's called the royal anthem.
the royal anthem.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
The King's
And everybody stood up, right?
Right.
And I was just sitting there like, all right, just waiting this out. And she goes, stand your ass up right now. Do you want to get black bagged? And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I'll stand up.
bag?
what is black bagging, Achara?
Well, okay, it probably wouldn't happen,
But it
But
could.
like, you definitely do not disrespect the royal family.
Yeah.
You do not talk badly about them. Otherwise, you might disappear.
Yes. You end up in a Thai jail.
Yeah,
so I stood
and you
up.
don't want to end up in a Thai jail.
So I stood up. But apparently, as like not that long ago, a lot of young people were just not standing up at movie theaters.
I was appalled.
In rebel to
Just
rebel.
as a, right. It was like the kneeling at the national anthem here.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Colin Kaepernick.
Seriously.
Yes. Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish I was in Thailand right now.
I know. Last time I went, there was so many people that weren't standing up. I turned to my dad and I was like, "Is this normal now?" He's like, "I don't know."
Wow.
We stood up.
Yeah, everybody stood up in the theater when I was there.
You're Thai, right?
Half Thai.
Half Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
English.
English.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked, is Indian food spicier or Thai food spicier?
It's the same.
Depends. I think
Do you think there's a
my Thai food is spicier.
I would imagine.
I thought Thai food was
I always thought if you get Thai food the way Thai people eat it, it's predominantly going to be pretty damn hot.
Yeah, like I had an American friend come and stay with us one summer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, when you go to Achara's house, if you don't eat spicy food, you don't eat." Because my
Right.
mom would be like, "Oh, I made this not spicy, okay?"
Right.
And then he's like, "Okay," and then he ate it, and he's like, you know.
I would die.
So-
I would die.
I made that mistake
Oh, you
at a
don't
Thai
eat spicy
restaurant.
food?
Oh no.
guys
Oh
don't eat
no,
spicy food?
Corbin, pepperoni can kill him.
Pepperoni.
That's not a joke. Yeah, no. The trip to India, he was an absolute trooper because I really was wondering how he was going to handle it.
I honestly, I think I'm allergic to
Which
spice.
Irish are you?
the whitest. The whitest.
Because like England like basically pillaged India for the spices.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And then never used them.
And they still
Never
But
used
the
them.
Hey,
national-
Indian food in England is
England,
really good.
it's
okay,
a deal.
It's
It's
legit.
Like, isn't for most Brits their favorite
Well, the
foods
national
Indian
Yes.
food?
dish is masala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so is the treasure.
it's like a
That's right. That's right, Jaby. But I made the mistake at a Thai restaurant of I didn't know. This was when I was first trying it for the first time, and I like spicy. So of course, what did I pick for my order to go? Oh, you can get it mild, spicy, extra spicy. I want that extra spicy.
Mild.
I got it extra
Oh
spicy.
my god.
And I opened it up, and there's this red oil
Oh
just
my
on
God.
top of it. I'm like, yeah, awesome. I tasted nothing.
yeah.
I could
How is
taste
that even like a
nothing.
flavor at that point?
Yeah, there was no flavor.
Like, that's
it
nothing.
was just I had burning in my
Full
face.
disclosure, I don't know if I've ever had Thai food. I don't
Ever in your life?
I don't know.
We have some that's like
maybe I
not
have,
spicy as
but
well.
I don't know if I've ever actually
If they
had.
see you,
what
though-
would be like the most popular Thai dish?
If they see you,
Most
they're not going to give
people-
you something spicy.
Right.
No,
You're not
most
gonna-
most people will have tried like pad thai or something, or
I've
like
heard of it.
pad thai,
I've
as
heard of-
people say.
Yeah.
I've heard of pad Thai. I don't know if I've ever had it.
You've never even gone to places that aren't Thai, but they claim they have like a Thai pizza or a Thai pasta.
Full disclosure.
California Pizza Kitchen has a Thai salad.
Yeah.
Why would I eat that?
Because it's
Good
delicious.
question.
It's yummy.
I don't like. My wife can attest to this. Before we got married, and she opened my eyes because she's always been way more cultured than I am. I'd never had Indian food before I was probably 21. But then,
Okay.
like the channel started, I actually had Indian food.
And he did
For, like,
great
the
on
first
the.
time.
He did great because we had food everywhere, and I would eat something, and I'd turn to look at him because I love spicy, so I knew if it had heat for me, and he would. And there was a lot of coughing for Corbin.
I think I'm allergic.
A lot of coughing.
You're not allergic.
Yeah.
You're not acclimated.
No, I think I'm allergic to spice, Jaby. Okay.
Well, there's a fun story my older sister, my older half sister tells about how she came to hang out with us once. Like she was a teenager, and I must have been about like 3 or something. And then apparently, although my parents deny this, my parents were like, "Oh, we're feeding her a chili because we need to build up her spice tolerance."
You were how old?
3. And so they
Is that normal for the Thai to do?
I think I don't know
I don't
because I
know.
asked my parents, I was like, "Did you really do this to me? Because if you did, that's horrible."
Okay.
And then they were like, "Oh no, why would we do that?" And then but my sister was like, "No, they definitely
did.
I definitely did.
Like I had to bite a chili before I could eat my lunch."
When my brother was 3 years old, we went to a Japanese restaurant, and we used to love green tea ice cream. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
that was our favorite dessert. And so the sushi came, and there was a thing of wasabi, and I
Oh,
was
no.
like, "Hey, Greg, it's green tea ice cream." And he took a whole scoop of it, and he ate it, and he was in pain for like a good 10 minutes.
Easily.
Yeah,
It looks like green tea ice cream.
it does look
It
like green tea
really
ice
does.
cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's such an older sibling thing to do. High
Absolutely.
five.
Straight up is.
Are you older, sibling?
I am, but people think he's older.
Are you older?
Technically, yes and no. Because I have an older half sister, but I didn't grow up with her. So family dynamics wise, I feel like I'm the oldest child with me and my younger sister. And then we started having a closer relationship with my older sister when I was about 20 and she was 16.
Okay.
So
What would happen if you guys were shooting a video with your wives and you said, "This is my stupid wife"?
Probably nothing, honestly.
Probably nothing, but that's.
Because my wife's favorite
It's
actor.
part of the naming.
Yeah, it's part of the name.
Well, we call our fans
The stupid babies.
Yeah. So
Why
And we
that
call
be-
ourselves stupid all the time.
So probably nothing. I mean, that probably wouldn't be the most affectionate name.
But we wouldn't do it because we both know, especially him, how much smarter the wives are.
Oh,
if you ever did that, I would like freeze frame the video. I would like zoom in on their
Yeah.
faces and just see if there's like a flinch. Like, wait a second.
Probably.
Did I just hear that?
my wife's favorite actor in Indian cinema is Shah Rukh Khan. So anytime we do watch-alongs together, which would have to be at night when the children are asleep, is Shah Rukh Khan movies only.
Okay.
That's the kind of what we do.
Which is interesting because that's the one. If there's one person I want to see Indrani meet, it's Shah Rukh Khan. Because she had crushes on Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan, but it was longer and ongoing with Salman Khan.
Did you see their houses?
Yeah,
Yes,
we did.
We saw.
We
yeah.
saw. We.
I
did
think we
see-
drove by Salman's.
We
but
drove by Salman, but we got out.
got out for Shah
at
Rukh.
Shah Rukh Khan.
He didn't show up. Very rude.
Yeah.
Very rude.
I was just underwhelmed at Salman Khan's property.
Yeah,
not
So
as
it's like
not as cool as that as Sarkis.
no, yeah, it's not as monumental.
It just looked like
He's
an
a very
apartment.
humble
it's just-
guy.
yeah.
It looked like an apartment
Like an
complex
apartment.
in North Hollywood. It just
did.
it didn't look like anything
I
spectacular.
agree. It was just like okay.
Yeah. But everyone knows
I'm
it.
sure it's great inside.
It's like yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I noticed when we were at Amir Khan's place was the air conditioning
Humble brag.
is was built into the ceiling.
Yes.
right?
So he had central air.
It was
That's
central.
huge.
It was central air,
Right.
But like everywhere else you go in Asia, it protrudes out,
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, there's a sign of wealth. That's interesting,
Right.
That it's like built into the
place.
yeah. So, yeah. I don't know why I thought of that. That just popped into my head.
Well, we were talking about
He just
the
wanted to
the
brag that
houses.
he's interviewed Amir Khan.
Yeah.
We only had Amir Khan.
That's true.
You know, when you said that, it actually reminded me of our earlier days. That we weren't shooting on iPhones, obviously, but like,
Obviously.
Who would do that?
We're not
Only
idiots.
a lowlife would film on a phone.
we were shooting on the Canon 7D,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, and it didn't flip out like
Okay,
this camera,
right? So you couldn't
So,
see.
so we had to have a mirror to see if it was like.
yeah.
Was it
So you had to
recording?
do the
It
mirror.
was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hated it. And it's like, and we weren't using autofocus lenses either.
Or microphones.
No.
Yeah.
Like it was all the. Well, no, we had a microphone. We
Yeah,
had
it
a
was
Rode
just
microphone.
overhead.
But it caught the room too.
It caught everything.
Yeah.
So I'd always have to shut off the fridge.
Right.
And the last time I remember, this is before you were even part of the channel, I think properly. I did a video shoot. I shut off the fridge, and then I went on a solo road trip
Oh no.
all the way up to Canada. And my sister would come in and out of the apartment to clean my apartment because I was paying her to do that.
How long were you gone?
And she's like, "There's a funky smell in the apartment, and I don't know what it is." And it's because there was chicken in the freezer. But like, we would always have to shut off the fridge because of the noise. And
Yeah.
so now with those headset mics, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with these.
Yeah.
There's a noise from the
We
fridge.
used to have to turn the
when you
fan
get-
off at your old place because the fan would get picked up and it was so hot. It was that place that was just the windows with the facing the sun.
I'm sure you can see us sweating in
Absolutely.
those videos.
It would get bad.
You guys used to have an American channel, right? What happened?
Yeah,
It's
2.0.
still
It's
there.
still there, but
What happened to it?
he had kids.
Hey, kids.
Just the amount of time that he could
I
devote
just don't have
to doing
time,
it. He just,
Jaby. Okay, I'm not Superman.
No, that's true. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing, though. I think that the thing that a lot of people don't realize is just how time consuming it is because,
Making reaction videos is easy.
like, all you do is watch the movie.
Yeah.
Like, how hard can it be? And it's like, that's actually the easiest part.
yeah, they
That's
have
true.
no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's the easiest
They
part.
really do. They think all you do is sit down, film, and then stop and upload.
Okay, first of all, I do want to specify, we're not saying our job is hard. I just want to specify for all you people that are going to complain at us right now.
It's not as hard as roofing.
No,
No.
But it's
We're not crab fishermen.
No.
but it is more intensity.
It is way more difficult than most understand.
Yes,
What-
exactly.
what you guys
I
have to
agree with
do.
that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, when you watch a video today, have you heard of second screening? So a lot of movies are second screenable now. And
I don't know that.
For,
what that
okay,
is.
so for the audience that doesn't understand it, it means that like the dialogue is written in such a way, and it's like it's written redundant. It's like very repetitive.
People repeat things a lot.
Yeah.
And
so,
Right.
So that you can watch the movie while you're folding your laundry,
or like
Oh.
looking
whatever.
at your smartphone at
Yeah.
the same
Got it.
time. Or,
Yeah, so that's what it means by second screenable, right?
Right.
And so
now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when we watch movies, we are watching it engaged.
Yes.
The entire time.
Correct.
Whereas most people today are watching it more casually.
Right.
And so there is at least a modicum of effort in there that you don't have with your average watch of just like in your underwear on the couch.
Right.
Where you pull up your iPad and do something else and play like whatever it's called.
Candy Crush?
Candy Crush at the same time.
Right.
You know, so there's an engagement that you have to employ while watching the videos that most people don't. And so they think it's easy, but it's like...
Right.
But we are all conditioned with an ADHD sort of approach to everything now. It's like, no, there's actually effort in that where you have to properly like engage with this video in a way that most people don't.
Yeah.
That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it, at least for us, is like when you're watching... There is still a level of you are a host, and
Right.
you have to be entertaining on some level.
On some level, you have
Yeah.
to. You're aware of the fact that you're being watched.
Yes,
And you have to be engaging in some way. You can't just be a bump on a log.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's like those two things play a big role in how you do it. It's like everyone thinks it's easy. I'm like, every time I see that in the comments, I'm like, you do it.
Yeah.
Let's see how you do it.
Show me how
Absolutely.
engaged you are right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please. I would love to see, like, because I've seen so many people leave a comment going, oh, I should do this. I'm like, yeah, you should.
Go right ahead.
See how far it goes.
Yeah.
And see if it's easy.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you it's not as easy as you think it
And
is.
you're watching it right now. Talk to me in 7 years.
Yes,
Then-
exactly.
Then see what the 7 years was like for you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, for real. For real.
And like just the hours of editing that goes into like I would say for me, if I was to edit a movie, it would take me about 5 hours for every 1 hour of movie.
Yeah.
So then a 3-hour movie takes at least 15 hours to cut down.
You
And then
bet.
on top of that, you got to like contend with making it okay to get past like copyright
And entertaining.
and all of that. So
Yep.
it's like it
And
takes
how-
a really long time.
How many almost burnouts have you had?
Oh gosh.
How many sessions of burnout?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like very early on we had some,
Yeah.
and then now we're very very aware of that.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
so,
why I have hosts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, to avoid
Absolutely.
burnout. Well,
Yeah.
one of my fears was getting people getting bored of me.
Yeah.
That was a legit fear I had was people getting bored of Jaby Kowe.
Yeah.
And so that's why I did the name changes. That's why I brought on different hosts to have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And so what's funny is people get mad when I'm not there. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, no, but like the whole point is to keep it interesting.
No, but
having-
there's a similarity in the, I think, as to why certain shows that are on, say, network television, like The Tonight Show, they are personality driven.
Yeah.
And the reason that people go, they may have a guest host, but if Jimmy Fallon is not there, if Jimmy Kimmel's not there, if Bill Maher's not there on their shows, fans start to go where they like, again, it's the change thing. They
Right.
they
Look, just because when Jon Stewart shows up, their YouTube videos get 1 million views on the Daily Show,
Yeah.
and the rest get 300,000 doesn't
Right.
mean anything, okay?
Jon Stewart, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like now, like you said, you know, we try and end at a reasonable time, take breaks. For me,
Yeah.
a lot of the thing that kind of resets me is going back home to see my family.
Sure.
So I make it more of a priority to like go back a few times a year. So then I mean, I'm still kind of working when I'm there. I'm still like handling stuff, but
Sure.
in a lesser degree.
Yeah.
And it's just nice being with family, you know?
Yeah.
What do you do if, because I would imagine that's something you have to be pretty proactive on, because if you're not, you could easily burn out, or is that a wrong assumption for me to make?
It was,
Do you
restate the question, sorry.
Are you proactive in terms of I make it a point, I'll take a break, you're aware of you can burn out, or do you burn out and realize, oh, I burned out?
I think I've been pretty good about it just because we have a rotation of people.
Yeah.
And the other thing was like we've managed to be, thankfully, we've managed to spread out where I purchased a property, which is where we do all our shooting.
Yeah.
And my home is my home.
So
And
you-
That's
yeah,
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a separation.
Yeah.
And it's like to be able to have that separation. My brother actually hit me up and he's like, so wait, how do you feel? Because his home is where his shooting space is.
Right.
And his home is way nicer than my home, but it still is a work at home kind of thing. Whereas my work is at my office.
Right.
My home is my home. And so that helps to keep away the sense of burnout.
Would you do that as well if you had, for example, my friend Scott? He will do a lot of the work he does as a voice actor because he does both on screen and voice work. But he has a home studio. But the difference is his studio. He's got a large enough place where it's like a guest house way down the driveway. So he literally he will leave his actual home and go all the way down to that guest house space. Would that kind of arrangement work, or it's better for you to be nowhere near where you're living?
I guess it could work. I mean, that's interesting. That would annoy me. It's like I gotta walk all the way down there.
Right.
It's like
as opposed to driving.
driving. No, I have.
It
it's
would
like-
also tempt you, I would think, to make it like I can just go right down to the studio
yeah
and work.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
That would be another issue. Like the computers I keep at my apartment are underpowered compared to the computers at the office.
Purposefully.
And purposely. I do that by design because it's supposed to be, this is emergency. Like the only
Right.
reason I would use this is if I'm in a jam and I got to do something at home. Otherwise, I got to take a 15 to 20 minute drive to the office.
Right.
And that's where I do my work and then I leave it at work and I go home.
Right.
And so that helps to keep away because I was feeling a degree of burnout. Sometimes it still kind of creeps up on me where I'm just like exhausted.
Yeah.
Because there are other things that I want to do, you
Right.
know, just like
Yep.
you guys. Like,
Yeah, you bet.
yeah, like I'm a storyteller at heart and I want to direct film.
Right.
And so the finding the time to do that has been brutal.
Yeah.
You know, because we just keep expanding.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, let's do this other thing that's related to YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah, when I leave this room, I don't think about this room.
That's good.
At all.
That's good.
Which is bad because it gets really messy.
But it's actually that's good. I would rather you personally, because I know how much of the heavy lifting he does all of the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a rat's ass if I come in here and there's popcorn and stuff all over the place, because as far as I'm concerned, if that's what keeps his head in a good space,
It helped out
Whatever he needs.
when we started doing a lot more watch-alongs, because then we would watch the movies in here, as opposed to at home. I'm going to my space and watching the movies, even though it's in my bed. I'm still even though it's like an enjoyable movie, it's still work, and so I think that helped. Being able
To have a
when you
dedicated
start, yeah,
space.
even though we still do movie reviews occasionally, we just do a lot more watch-alongs.
Yeah, that's shifted.
And now, so
What stops you from either of you from going to India more often and like pursuing acting roles? Because I remember you did a monologue,
yeah, they did.
and so it seemed at that time, just because like we weren't really talking at that time,
Yeah.
and so it seemed from the outside looking in that you wanted to be part of Indian cinema.
Oh, I do. Yeah,
we still do.
One children. I
Okay.
have small children.
Okay.
And so that's the biggest thing right now. Can't really just up and move them there.
Just turn it into content.
Yes.
Move to
You
India.
very well could.
Kolkata.
But we've talked about it before. But it's still risk, and you want your stuff to come to fruition here as well.
Yes. Yes.
And so
Yeah, that was the predominant thing for me. Cause
kind of you want both.
Andrani and I talked about that because she's got family in Calcutta, and it would be very easy to justify that move for us. I've talked to Mark Bennington about that thing, and he has said, "Dude, you'll work all the time if you come here." And
Well, you'll work all the time, but will it be good money?
will it be good money?
Probably good money.
Will I enjoy the work
Right.
as well?
Yeah.
How much will I be involved in things that are really stimulating for me and the kinds of work I want to do as an actor? Because I don't just want to work. I want to do work that I'm going to enjoy doing. Occasionally, as an actor, you've got to do work that just you're going to get a paycheck.
You mean
Yeah.
you'll get bored of playing an English bad guy over and over
That's
again?
the point.
No,
Yes.
Jaby.
So, and I still, for me, the two biggest drives to stay here were, I don't know how well the channel would manage without us being side by side on a regular basis.
Gotcha.
And I
Without
still have,
you, it'd be fine.
I've got so many things I want to accomplish here that I would like to still be able to accomplish them here in
Yeah.
Hollywood and New York, and still be able to do stuff in India, because I would still really like to do. I would like to work with some of those people.
So, there was this last time we were in India. Achara and I were I was presented with a huge opportunity to effectively make a movie in India,
Yeah.
and
And Helmet, direct it.
I would be directing it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I realized at a certain point that if I were to do that, I would have to move there for like a few years,
Yeah.
just to like tell that story.
Right.
And it's like all my friends are here, all my family's here, all my colleagues are here.
Me too.
My home is here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know that I would be comfortable to just up and move like that. And so I sort of just let it go.
Yeah.
In favor of staying here and just continuing to build what I'm building with Achara.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is my home,
Me too.
you know?
Yep.
And so it's like, there's a part of me that thinks, oh, maybe that would be the move, and it's like, that's an adventure.
Right.
But it's like, there are so many Indians who move back to India
Yeah.
after being in the States because they're so far from everything that's familiar.
Yeah.
And I know that I would feel that because I've traveled the world.
Right.
And every time I travel, I'm like, I miss LA.
I'm ready to go back home.
Yeah, I always miss LA.
Me too.
As annoying as LA can be,
No, I love LA.
I end up missing it, and I love it here.
Yeah, it's one of the things that it's a bittersweet thing that, Andrani just spent almost 2 months back home for the first time. And I remember talking to somebody here about her coming back and how much she must love me. And I said, it really boggles my mind to think about what you just said, because I too have traveled and been in places. And after about 2 weeks, I really want to come home, not just for the familiarity of the place, but because this is where my family is, this is where my kids are, this is where I still have dreams of things I want to see accomplished. And I know watching what it takes for someone to do what Indrani's done. I mean, she's got the only bedroom she's ever lived in since she was born for 30 years. She's been in the same bedroom and that house and that street and that place. And even though she grew up believing she was going to be in America, and she loved American culture, and she was always drawn to America, and she's done an incredible job of acclimating. It's still really, and she has said to me, imagine what it would be like for you
Yeah.
if you had to go to Calcutta
That's
and
crazy.
leave everything and everyone you know. I
Yeah.
said, yeah, trust me, sweetie, I know.
Some people are built like that.
Yeah,
And
some
they
people can handle it better than others.
Yeah, some people are expats, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like
Yeah,
her dad.
like
Yeah.
like you.
Because I grew up like that.
Yeah.
Because my dad's English, but he was actually born in India. He was born in Calcutta.
Really, I didn't know that. I just
yeah.
knew the English Thai.
Yeah.
It's
so
when
he
English,
was.
it's when English.
Yeah,
was
That's what
still
English
there.
he was.
did.
He was born in 1945, and then
Wow.
when he was a little baby, you know, because it's like they were like Brits, get the hell out. Then
Yeah.
he said that his family had a Gurkha who took them, him, my grandmother, and my aunt to leave India because it was like dangerous.
Time to get out.
And then after that, because my grandfather was an engineer, I think he actually helped to build some bridges in Calcutta, and like in Myanmar and stuff. And then they moved to Kenya. And then my dad was like in boarding school the whole time. So like for my dad, the idea of leaving was just so natural to him. So once he
Right.
finished university, then he was like, cool, I'm going to go teach English. And he taught English in Thailand. And, you know, like then he just stayed and like he went to the Middle East and then back, like we lived in Indonesia and then back in Thailand and then
Like a military family.
kind of, yeah. Except it was like he just worked for the British
There's a
government.
running joke that her dad is a spy.
Yeah, my friend was like,
Most likely
sounds like he
spy.
works for MI6, but you know, that's
likely
all
spy.
just a cover. I'm like, whatever, you don't know my dad. But yeah, so for me, it's like, yeah, the idea of moving doesn't really scare me all that much because actually the longest I've ever lived anywhere has been here in LA. So I've been here for like 13 years. Before that, the longest I'd ever lived anywhere was like 9 years. I was always just
Yeah, moving. We were talking about
Moving.
the other day.
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot of different places, but not outside. I've never lived somewhere outside of America. I've lived in different states, and I've lived in a lot of different homes in LA, lots of them. So I'm used to that gypsy sense of this isn't really my permanent place, but it kind of is because I'm still in LA.
Right.
I'm still in America. And I remember the first time I ever traveled out of the United States, my thought was, every American needs to do this. I should have done this earlier because the world doesn't just revolve around America. So that's a much, I think, a more amazing acclamation to live in that many different countries.
Have you guys used ChatGPT at all?
Yes.
wow.
At all?
let's change the
What do you think
subject.
of it? I know I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think of it?
Yeah.
I love it. So I was curious about something with regards to India because it's something with your dad went through, right? One of the early videos that Achara and I shot was about, and it's a film that got remade in Bollywood. It was about a brothel house that existed on the border between Pakistan and India.
Okay.
And during the discussion portion of the trailer reaction, Achara said something that made me realize, oh, I need to keep her around. She's smart.
This is a Bengali film, right?
I think so.
And so
yeah.
she's like, yeah, like we just drew a line in the sand. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What's this line in the sand you're talking about? And it was about the map, the line that was drawn between Pakistan and India.
We saw this. Yeah, we saw this film.
I had no idea what she was talking about at the
Right.
time because I wasn't familiar.
Right.
And so
Bloody line. The bloody line.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was drawn through the brothel.
And so I was very curious about how that line got made and how the person felt about it.
I
because
just looked it up.
okay, yeah, because like there's this, the English are very vilified for being these bad guys, and I'm like, with they deserve
Totally
they
understandable.
deserve a lot of the bad credit
Hot
that they
take,
get.
Jaby doesn't
But-
think the British were that bad.
No, like they deserve a lot of the bad credit. But like I was just curious about specifically the time of partition and like what the thinking was at the time.
Right.
And specifically that guy.
Right, who
because-
actually did it.
Who did that. Because like he never spent time in India before.
Nope.
He came in, made the map and left. And I'm like, how did that guy feel? And according to ChatGPT, he felt freaking awful.
He didn't
came
take payment.
Yeah, he came in and he didn't have any time. He wanted more time, but because of the tension in the country at the time, he's like the whoever was in charge was like, "This is how much time you've got. Do it and get out, and that's it." And then as a result, so many people died, et cetera, et cetera. And for the rest of his life, he had to live with that guilt, and he never stopped living with that guilt until he died. I'm like, that's a completely different picture than the one I got from YouTube videos.
Right.
You know, and it's just
Where it was
fascinating.
the British going, yeah, we're going to really screw them up. Let's
Yes.
do that. Yeah, break that
Yeah.
up over there,
Yeah.
bastards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, divide and conquer is a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, but like when you look at just like on a microcosmic level, like all the individual people that
You
were
bet.
involved,
You bet.
it's a completely different perspective.
The British then gave him a medal when he came back to India as well. I mean, when came back to
England?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Which that was another one of the
He
things.
didn't take payment, and he's like, the Indians rightfully hate me.
Yeah.
Like I just like last week looked up a bunch of information about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was thinking of a movie idea.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, like a while back, I looked up. This has nothing to do with ChatGPT, but I looked up Cornwallis.
Yeah,
And because he got defeated in The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. That's right.
Ledger,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cornwallis got defeated, and he went back home to England with his tail tucked between his legs. And England's like, "Yay, you're back! We're gonna send you to India."
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of the mapping of all the BS that went on in India.
Yeah.
Including not hiring Indians for a lot of the labor. That,
Yeah.
You know, and like he was part of the racism that
Yes.
went on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the battles that America and India share together because of you people.
Yeah.
I always give Achara shit.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I wasn't there. I'm just related.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Although apparently my grandparents were nice and they were not racist. So there you go. According to my dad. So.
Mine were.
Yeah, just look at Corbin. You can tell his family was racist.
I have high-ranking Confederate generals in my family.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
not joking.
Oh, that's difficult.
My family came from Ireland, Wales, to South Carolina and stayed.
Oh my god.
And if you know anything about the Civil War in South Carolina, yeah.
So if you watch my American channel, we've been watching a lot of African American cinema, a lot, and I'm always amazed every time I see a film that's historical, where you see a white guy who's awful in the movie, right? Like a very bad guy, and I laugh in my head because I'm like, I know that guy's a liberal in real life, otherwise he wouldn't be in this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's what's hilarious.
Exactly.
You know, because like he looks like what there was we watched Selma was one of them, and there was like all these racist white guys in the movie. I'm like,
Yep.
these are all liberals. I just know it.
Not
Yeah.
racist.
There's no way they're
Yeah.
racist, or they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take the role.
Those are the main things that he's really
What?
typed for.
Oh, no, I get
Two
cast
things
as
he
a
gets
racist.
is either the racist or the drug addict.
Drug addict. Sometimes a racist drug addict. I get cast as a lot.
What?
No,
Yeah,
not even
no,
joking.
not kidding.
The
Wow.
main roles I get cast as are racist, drug addict. Yeah. I get cast as those a lot.
You should just go to
Wow.
stay at a hotel in India. You'll get cast as an Englishman.
All the time.
What are you doing over there?
we almost did a film.
We almost did.
We almost did Kufia with Vishal.
Yeah.
We were cast.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened?
There's a production.
It was a production thing that
Yeah.
the changing of the dates, the changing of when they were filming,
There's a bunch of stuff.
and then it
going
went to Canada, and they didn't get the.
Yeah.
They didn't get permission from SAG, and then they were trying to get it, and then they were trying to get us to get a particular thing with our visa, with our passport,
Yeah.
and then we just had to finally.
Yeah.
There's just no way we could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my last question to you guys.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're watching an Indian film and you're like, that is straight up from an American movie?
Oh, we just say that.
Yeah.
Same thing with music.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're watching something, because if you pick it up immediately, and I'll turn to
Corbin, I'll go, that's Miami Sound Machine. That's, or,
especially 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, the 90s and early
Bollywood,
2000s.
Yeah.
They loved taking.
They loved borrowing.
There's a Salman Khan film I watched where there was this death of a character that was close to Salman Khan, and I'm like, this is straight up The Departed. Like,
Yeah.
and people give me so much shit for calling it out. I'm like, what do you want me to be
What do
dishonest?
you expect us to do?
Like, what do you want me to like? I grew up on American cinema. This is clearly The Departed.
Wouldn't you like to know it's not an original thought? This was borrowed. I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay. You can still like it, but it's from that.
People feel like personally attacked.
I know.
You're like, oh my
I
God,
know.
Jaby, just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys had to like the love is so strong from India or Indians as well, and so is the hate.
Sure.
They're
It's
not
equally as
lukewarm.
strong on the other
Yeah,
side.
they are not lukewarm.
No, that's true.
it's,
You know where you stand with your Indian
Yes.
audience. It's like you did good or you did bad.
The love is as strong as the hate.
Yep.
But anyways,
I don't agree with that because like obviously you guys still get views. You guys still have people who watch you regularly.
No,
Oh, no,
but
no,
it's
they
like
stay
when
faithful.
people they're
No.
yeah, that's the thing. People
That's
are
not what we're
very
talking about.
loyal, but
Very
they're
loyal.
very vocal.
vocal.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
About,
they'll,
like-
they'll stay watching, but if you do something they don't agree with, they will tell you, I can't believe that you said that. I'm so disappointed in you. I thought more of you.
And they'll make you
then
make
you
a-
do another one that you like, and they come back and they say, see, I always knew you felt that way. And it's like,
And then they'll make you make an apology video, Jaby.
yep.
Oh, okay. So I've been wanting to share this.
What?
With you guys. Like I thought about it an hour ago. I thought about it an hour ago, and I was like, wait, I
whole
wanted
hour ago?
a whole hour ago, and I wanted to
He's
share
been
it.
debating.
I was like, wait, because the conversation shifted gears, so like another direction. And so we were in India, and we were at a hotel in Rajasthan,
Oh, I know this
and
one.
this guy was like, Jaby Kawai, and I'm like, hey. And so my disposition is always pleasant,
Yeah.
happy,
Sure.
shake your hand or elbow or bump,
Right.
fists, right, whatever it is.
You bet.
And I'm very nice to this guy. He's like, oh, I used to watch your content, but it was here and now it's
To your face.
and it's right to my face.
Right
I'm
at
like,
you.
what the? Why would you say that to me? I was like, I didn't even know what to do. I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah.
And I walked away and I sat with myself for a second. And the thing is, we were at a hotel, and so he's in the same room as me.
It was
for a
breakfast.
While. It was breakfast. And so I walked
The
up.
morning.
Yeah, and I walked up to him and I'm like, bro, you didn't need to do that. Like, you
Yeah.
could have just kept that to yourself. He was like, he was appalled at himself, also because his wife lectured him apparently, that he came up to me afterwards and defended himself for like 20 minutes about
good
why
Lord.
he.
That's the worst.
And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if you guys ever experienced that.
A to the face
Yeah.
type of thing.
Because most of my in-person experiences have been very pleasant.
Yeah,
No,
they've all been pleasant.
Not to. People give recommendations or what, like.
I've had
like,
disappointments.
Oh, you should do this, or whatever. But no, nothing like that to the face.
I've had aunties say, you know, how could you have not liked, you know, but not that direct.
So here's the kicker. He worked for Dice Media, and I am friends with the president and CEO of Dice Media. So I was kind of a punk.
I told you, Jaby is petty.
Yeah. So what did you do to get back at him? Did you make a video about it?
I didn't make a video. I just talked to the president. And I was just like,
You need to fire this guy.
Yeah.
No, but
I-
he didn't work for them anymore,
he didn't work
right?
for them anymore. I don't know.
No, I think that was the thing. He was like, oh, he doesn't work for us
Clearly
anymore.
not.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
decorum.
Yeah.
No decorum. Am I right, Jaby?
No,
Yeah.
but like that's the thing is like I have to hold back a lot. Like I remember being on a flight. We were going to Goa, I think. Right? We were on a plane from Delhi to Goa or something like that.
Or it was like Goa back to
Isn't that a movie? Delhi to Goa?
I forget.
whatever.
We were on a plane, right? And my chair kept getting kicked again and again. And I'm like, all right, well, as a passive aggressive American, I'm just going to reel back and hope that they get the message. And
Right.
this guy comes into my ear and he goes, hey, like my wife is behind you. And I go, can you tell your wife to stop kicking my chair? And he goes, it's the baby. And I go, well, can you face the baby
Have your
the
baby
other
not
way?
kick my chair.
Like have him not kick my chair. And he
Right.
goes, if you didn't want to get kicked, you should have got a business class ticket.
What?
And I was like,
Nope, that's not how that works.
I'm like, dude, so you're a great fucking father, huh?
Yeah. No joke.
And
Yeah,
so
that's not how this works.
He and I were like nose to nose.
I
And
thought we were going to die.
We were about to go and get into a fight. And I'm like, Jaby Kawai, you're in India. You do not want to get deported on
No.
account of being a dummy.
You don't want to go to
Right.
an Indian jail.
Yeah, do you want to go to India jail? So
No.
I just kept it
Correct.
to myself. I was just like, all right, whatever, man.
That was
And-
wise.
And I backed off.
That was wise.
And so those are the only two That's one of 3 negative encounters I've had in India.
3.
3. The third one was when we missed our flight, and that lady like Indians can argue like nobody's business. I don't know how many arguments you've had with your wife, but like they can
We've had
spin
arguments.
a topic on you and make your fault really fast. And you won't even see it coming. Like your white brain is not prepared for the level of strategy that they have.
It's
to like, it's crazy, like how fast they can fight you. Because like we missed our flight because the people behind the counter were arguing with each other.
It started like this. We were going to go to the airport. Uber and drivers were on a strike. So there were no taxis.
Okay.
So then we couldn't get a taxi. So then we called our friend. Our friend was like, cool, I'll be there. So she comes, she picks us up. We go to the airport. Then we're waiting in line. I'm at the front of the line. And then for whatever reason, the 2 clerks are just having a chat. Just a chat for like 10.
While you're standing there.
And I'm just standing. I'm like...
And she's being nice.
And I'm being nice because I'm so English. And and then she finally brings us up, and then she's like, "Oh, yeah, it's 1 minute over like the last call for like checking in. I can't check you in now." And I was like,
Excuse you.
But you were just like having a full on chat.
So we tried to
holding up the line for 10 minutes.
We tried to pull a Karen and talk to the manager. And
that didn't work.
they turned it around against us and made it our fault somehow.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. And so then the last time we were in India in 2023, there was a whole rigmarole where we had to like print out a pass, right? And the pass we printed up was not like the best in terms of information.
Okay.
And so Achara tries to present it to the lady at the door who's got a gun. And she's like, and Achara's like, that's our flight right there. And the lady with the soldier with the gun is like, but this is not you.
Because they said I tried to use it on my phone first.
Nope.
And then they were like, no, you got to go get a paper ticket.
Print it out.
Go to the company, whatever, the airline. So I went, and then they gave me a printout. Then I go to the lady, and then she's like, this is the wrong one. And I was just
Achara was losing it.
You were done.
incensed.
The thing is, Achara's the nicest person, and she's like, I can see it right there. That's my flight, right there. And I'm like, Achara, she's got a gun.
I was like, I don't
didn't
care.
I had that encounter in Calcutta with they wouldn't let me in, and I had my boarding pass. Everything was digital. I was like, why the hell would I have to print something?
Yeah.
And they said no, and again, armed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no, but I've
I
never
forgot
seen her freak out.
myself.
That was the only time I've ever seen her like go Karen, like full blood.
full Karen mode, and then she just laughed and let me in.
Yeah,
Well, that's nice. I'm glad it worked out that way.
yeah.
I know.
Wow.
Me too.
I'm glad we didn't get shot.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't
I
shout
never had
out.
anything with Indians that way, but when I was in China again, I saw a guy arguing with his wife. They were being quite vocal.
Okay.
While we're waiting at baggage claim area and waiting for your flight, it's just lots of people yelling. People are watching. Hauls off and slaps her as hard as he
Oh my
can.
God.
Damn.
It was a loud, hard hit. Everything inside of me wanted to get up and go over. And I caught myself. I went to get up and I went, Rick, you're in China, man. You need to just sit and relax. And then eventually he picked his stuff up and left. She was there. Authorities came. They went and followed him. I'm assuming they went and got him. But that was one of those moments that I went, if it was America, I would have responded very differently. But in another country, mind my P's and Q's.
You're in China, man, and you're not a Chinaman.
And I'm not exactly.
Wow,
Yep.
Rick did not help out a domestic abuse.
Correct. I did not.
Canceled.
Canceled. Speaking of canceled, I'm going to end this podcast because none of you are here anymore.
Oh, what happened? No, we're here. It's filming.
It's 2.5 hours in, and it's getting hot in this room.
Oh, it is.
It is getting hot. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has been 2.5 hours.
It's been hot
Yeah,
for like
it's
an
been
Yes,
hot
it
for
did.
at least an hour.
for like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
been hot.
it has. It gets hot in this room. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Not you guys.
I had
It was
fun.
awful.
No, just
He doesn't care about you at all.
I'm just kidding.
them and
No,
the
I
camera.
know.
Them and the camera.
It was enjoyable.
But thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad we finally got to able to do something
Yeah, me
together.
too. That's something stupid babies have said for years. I don't know if you've gotten that, but I repeatedly said, why don't you guys do something with Jaby and Achara? Why don't you do something with Jaby? We're like, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I have what is that game where the Indians play
Ludo.
No, it's not Ludo. It's the one where they hit the things though.
oh yeah, where they go.
Oh,
It's like on
It's not-
sand.
it's.
You saw
on
Munabai.
sand.
Munabai. That old guy was
I
playing.
know
it.
what you're talking about. I don't know what it's
Yeah, I
called.
don't know what it's called. I have it. We should play it sometime though, like on a live or something. Anyways, I'm gonna end this. Thank you so much for Jaby and Achara. We're
Yes,
gonna
thank you for coming
Once
over
you
here.
step out that door, it's gonna feel so
much
nice.
better.
It's gonna feel so nice. I promise you. You already follow them, so go follow them over there. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.